visually
There we
engaging.
go. Now we have it.
You're just gesturing.
Okay, turn it down just a little
Hey,
bit.
Stu, I found it. I did actually bring it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't have a
All right.
Did we have maps for all of us?
Here, let me take that one. I don't know what happened to them. Some of them got left here, and stuff got moved during the other game. So, it's a huge city. Probably hundreds of thousands of people live here. I mean, for a sort of medieval society, it's a massive city. And that there's like the regular part of the city, then there's sort of the imperial capital part of the city, which is probably the area that I'm assuming you people are in. And at some point during the course of the day, each of you will receive a message. And we sort of mentioned this briefly during our sort of character creation phase, and that is that all of your characters would be recruited for a specific task that has to do with an investigation. And so this is that letter asking for your help in this particular cast. Let me bring it up, and I'm just going to read it very quickly to all of you, because it's basically the same letter to all of you. Greetings. Your presence is hereby requested at a private dining room at the Graggle's Spleen Tavern at sundown today to discuss a matter of great urgency to the Empire. You will be compensated for your time. Blaze Turnwell, Master of Chambers, Imperial Citadel. And of course,
Blaze?
Blaze Turnwell.
Do I know what a graggle is?
Graggle is one of the religion here is a conglomeration of a lot of different societies' religions, but one of the civilizations that makes up the empire, in their pantheon, Graggle is sort of like their equivalent of Bacchus.
Oh,
It is
nice.
she's the goddess of drinking and revelry.
Oh, very nice.
Generally, she is portrayed as a dark-skinned woman with bright red hair, holding a wine glass and clutching pearls around her neck and laughing. That's how she's almost, and she's nude and ample. So think of the picture of, remember the album cover we were going to have once of the guy on the sled? It was Bacchus on the sled being pulled by tigers, and there's like cherubs around him, and he's so big you can't even see his naughty bits. That she looks.
What album was that going to be for?
It
Barley
was.
Eagle, I think.
Oh.
It might have been the first one. Or my first or the second. Yeah, it was an early one. Anyway, but Graggle's Spleen is a tavern, and it's probably the tavern that is closest to the Imperial Citadel.
And is it an upstanding tavern?
Generally, yes. A lot of commerce deals happen there. A lot of political deals end up happening there. It's sort of the watering hole for the political class and the sort of merchant elite.
So it's not a red onion. It's really more like one of these hoity-toity posh bars in Hollywood.
Yeah, not so much a rough and tumble kind of place.
No.
Okay.
No, not really. I mean, you can make it that. You can do that anywhere you want.
Just trying to get a...
But it is, it's a nice establishment.
Okay.
I mean, and there are. If a fight breaks out there, it probably makes the newspaper.
I'm sorry, can you tell me what Blaze Turnwell's title is again?
He was the Master of Chambers. Essentially, that's the equivalent of like a head butler.
Chris gets to take notes.
Well, Samantha's not here, so I have to.
I know. Samantha takes the best notes. They're all like little stories.
They're perfect.
So just, I kind of thought as a sort of a sort of experiment, role-playing experiment, how each of your characters would approach going to the tavern. Because essentially, I just kind of describe how you would decide to go to the tavern, and if there's anything that you would do, like prep work or you spy on the place. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff.
This is my town. I'm familiar with it. Do I know who this guy is?
You probably may have heard the name. I mean, you don't probably. You know who the Emperor is.
Okay.
And you probably know the names of the Emperor's family. head butler, you probably don't know his name. It's not one of those people that...
Does he work with the firm of Bottleson and Burbleson and...
No, he's head butler. He's head butler for the Imperial Citadel.
Okay.
The Master of Chambers in the Imperial Citadel.
I didn't realize that that's what that meant.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to bring a resume with me
Okay.
of my solved cases and go and apply for a job.
Okay.
Now, a quick question out of character. How much is money worth? Is like 2 silvers a day? Like
Pennies. A penny is a dollar.
A penny is a dollar.
A penny is a dollar. Because it's a GURPS dollar, according to the book. Everything in the book is done in dollars. And that is a penny.
And how many pennies per silver?
I don't remember. 10, I think.
I only ask because Rockford always asks for $200 a day plus expenses. So I really wanted to say 20 silver a day plus expenses.
Let me look. I can tell you right now. If you would like to look at the world, you can go to happyjacks.org/obsidian. And I have an obsidian portal thing that I'm in the process of populating with articles about the Empire era of the world of Eldemy. Let's see. Pennies are dollars. They're made of copper. A till is made of silver, and it is... I did not write, but I can figure out. It's 10. It's 10.
All right.
And a crown is also silver, but it's much larger, and that's 10 tills. And then an imperial crown is 10 crowns.
Okay. So.
And that is a gold coin.
All right. Perfect.
So your basic copper penny is a dollar.
So I'm going to make my way through the, I guess, is it muddy streets? What's the...
Oh, yes.
Around here?
Yeah, they're having a problem. I don't know if you read the...
I did.
Yeah,
I did, in fact.
They're having some issues. During the day, the wrong person got, from what you hear, got spilt upon.
Just carefully make my way around the
Okay.
the piles of offal to this nice establishment.
Okay.
And then try to keep my shoes somewhat clean.
Okay.
I want to make a good... You can only get one chance to make a good first impression, and since I'm looking for a job, I want to do that.
Of course you do. Absolutely.
And I will make my way there. I'm going to stop along the way for some supplies, make sure I have everything I need in my kit. And I'm really concerned about this waste problem because, that breeds cholera, and that's a real problem. But I know exactly how to get there.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
I'm unfamiliar with the town, and so I want to make an impression, but at the same time, I'm not exactly sure how.
Okay.
So I doff my armor, I get into my nicest shirt, my cleanest shirt. It's not necessarily my nicest shirt. I get into my cloak, and I realize that I only have 8 pennies in my pouch. And so on my way there, I'm thinking about, okay, well, what am I going to do if I want to buy a drink or something like that? And then I realize that there's a gambling den not too far away, and I kind of make a stop to a gambling den.
Oh, excellent. Okay. All right.
I was going to case the joint, but my impulsive nature gets the best of me, and I end up rolling some dice and end up breaking even.
Okay.
And realizing that my time is short, there's this whoosh of a cape, and I start running down, not really paying too much attention to the streets, unlike Thade here.
Okay.
And so when I come by, there's a little bit of a scent that I try to mask as I walk into the place.
All right. It's pretty ubiquitous.
Okay, all right, fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk into town with some nice river rocks as a gift for Mr. Blaze guy.
Okay.
And this town smells bad.
It does.
It doesn't. Nature doesn't smell like this.
No.
That's all I got. I'm going to go to the place and wait for him with my shiny river rocks.
Okay. All right. So Gaggle's spleen, I'm going to assume you all arrive at roughly the same time, within minutes of each other probably, is named for the Abravelli goddess of drink and revelry. Graggle's spleen is a high-end drinking establishment, only a stone's throw from the Imperial Citadel. As such, it is a place where many deals, from political agreements to treaties of commerce, are sealed. The main floor of the spleen has seating at several tables and a bar, and barkeep pours several notable ales and wines from many regions of the empire. Behind the bar is an entrance to the kitchen, and a stairway in the corner leads to the second floor, where there is a private dining room and several guest rooms as well. The place smells of roast pork with a hint of garlic and spices. Occasionally you can catch the scent of freshly baked bread. While the place is rather full, the room is rather quiet. You can hear the whispers of quiet conversations and the sounds of the staff bussing tables and filling orders, but none of it is loud enough to drown out the crackling fire in the stone fireplace in the back corner. The proprietrix, which I thought was an awesome word,
I'm going to write it down.
Dissel Barnon, sits on a stool in the corner by the stairwell, ever watching the staff and customers.
What was the name again?
Dissel, D-A-S-E-L-L-E, Barnon, B-A-R-N-A-N. She is a matronly woman, well into her 60s. She is of pale complexion with stark white hair that was probably once red. She bears a smile that extends all the way to her eyes, and she's holding a walking stick in one hand. And you can tell she's sort of sitting on the stool, which is kind of like on a little stoop. Like you come a couple stairs, there's a stoop, and then the stairs go up the rest of the way. She sort of sits there so she can sort of survey the place and make sure the wait staff is doing what they're supposed to do. And
She's got one of those little podiums in front of her too, kind of thing.
Sure.
She takes
right.
reservations and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got the scene.
I go up to her and I ask where I can find Blaze Turnwell. Is Master Turnwell here? I've come to wait with him.
He's not here yet, but he has made arrangements. You may go upstairs, and the room will be the first door on your left. Enjoy your
I
time.
think really hard about where that lift is. And then I make my way upstairs.
Okay.
Confident that I think, that I'll be able to make it.
I walk up and say, "Hi, I'm also here to see Blaze Turnwell. Here's my card in case you ever need anybody to find missing people or missing things. Fade Drawlight. I'm sure you've heard of me."
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll just go upstairs and wait, shall I?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much.
The dinner is already up there for you.
Oh. Free food. Perfect.
I walk in and it's like, "Oh, Giselle, how you doing there? It's Tilda Vestergaard. We haven't seen each other for a dog's age now. So, how is that? How is your boy doing?"
Oh, he's doing very well. He's in the military now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So I have a cousin who's in the military too. What branch is he in?
He's in the 7th Fusiliers.
Oh, impressive. You must be very proud.
Oh, indeed. Absolutely.
Well, how's your health now, love?
Oh, not too bad. The leg is still giving me problems. I can't seem to get rid of the stick.
I've got something for that in my bag. I have this meeting with this man named Blaze Turnwell, but afterwards I'm going to come back down and we'll talk about that leg, all right?
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
It
Lovely
smells
seeing
better
you.
in here than it does outside. I'm hungry now. I wasn't hungry outside. There's a thing with Mr. Blaze.
Oh, yes. You may go upstairs. There's dinner is already there.
Oh, good thing I'm hungry again. It smells like poop outside. Walk upstairs.
Okay. Okay.
Are you carrying like large river rocks with you, or are these like little quartz things? Kind of
They're
thing?
little ones.
Okay.
But I found one big one. And they're in like a mesh pouch.
Okay.
Just clattering as you walk
Yeah,
along.
it's like just obnoxious. But they're really pretty.
So when you get to the dining room, it's clean and well appointed, but in a somewhat understated way. It's not like super gaudy, There's a large table that is big, thick, and substantial, and it kind of dominates the room. There's chairs around it, about 10, and they seem to be made of the same wood as the table itself. There's a roasted fowl of some sort, perhaps a turkey, sitting on a table on a wooden platter in the middle of the table. And next to it, there's like a bowl of like roasted root vegetables, and there's a bowl of greens, and there's like several like large loaves of bread sitting strategically around. And there's a table at what obviously by the decor of the room is the head of the table, and then at the other end of the table there is a place setting, and then there's one at either end, and then there's two on either side, on the left and the right side. So, and there's no one in the room yet, except you all kind of come straggling in.
Oh, Dale, it's good to see you in town again.
How are you?
I'm looking for work. How about you?
I'm always looking for work. It's you gotta do the hustle.
Yes.
Or something. I'm not sure what the phrase is. To make money.
Well, hello there. How are you all?
It smells outside.
It does. It's a big problem. I really got to talk to somebody here in the city about that because, that can breed disease. We can't have any more sick people here in the city.
That's terrible.
Yes. I'm Tilda.
I'm Dale Odell, Ranger,
Dale, so
man
nice
of the
to
woods.
meet you. Woods, eh?
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, when I hear people start to mention Blaze's name, I realize that other people are going to meet him, and I hang back to kind of watch you all walk in. And I walk in last, just kind of sheeply striding into the room. Blaze's meeting, right?
Yeah.
I find a location that's as far away from any window and any door as I can.
And what do you look like?
You see a big brick of a man. He is ruddy-skinned, big, thick features, huge. He's 5'8", but he's like 210 pounds. And I am decked out in what looks like what was once a soldier's uniform that has seen better days. I've got a mace hanging from my belt, and I kind of shuffle to the table real quick. I look around, see if anybody's gotten anything. Realize that nobody's gotten anything. I just pick out a piece of bread. I find a nice wall to put my back to, and I just start eating.
Okay. So you're not sitting at the table. You kind of
Not
kick
yet.
the table.
Not
Okay.
yet. I'm just
All right.
waiting to see how things shake out.
Okay. This is a moment for you guys to interact before
So,
the.
Dale, I
NPCs
assume I
get
know
here.
what you look like because
Yeah,
we've met
he's
before. Go ahead.
think Patrick Warburton
Yes.
from
Seinfeld.
with
Or the
kind
tip.
of tattered clothing and armor, like just a light with like leather, jerkin or doublet, like stitching everywhere because nothing seems like in good repair. But he seems like a pretty, reasonably not gregarious, but he's friendly enough. He'll talk to you, like that guy in the corner who's eating the piece of bread. I don't know why you went all the way over there, buddy. I mean, we're here for the same thing. You might as well sit down with us, right? Communal table and all. That's what you do in the city, right? I don't know. I eat with bachelors.
Yes, what we do in the city. Right. I'll sit with you. And I kind of take a place at a table beside you.
Okay.
Still munching on my bread shyly, almost.
And what do you look like, Tilda?
Oh, just very average in appearance, kind of mousy haired, just sort of a, sturdy person. Yeah, I got my pack with me and some leather armor because I go around the countryside quite a bit. But I'm just friendly face. Happy to see everybody.
I'm wearing the medieval equivalent of a trench coat. Wide brim hat, and just like everyone else, it's got some patches and some frayed edges and things.
Nice.
And I carry a cane with me.
Oh,
Or
I
a
forgot my
walking
quarter. I have a quarterstaff.
Well, he's a bucket and a quarterstaff. But I'm not telling him that. My favorite. Staffy Duck. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help.
Okay. So after a few minutes, another conversation, anything want to happen before people start coming in, giving you an opportunity?
Oh, I'll strike up a conversation
Yeah,
with you.
one last question. How do these schools, the mage schools, view each other? Are there any rivalries?
Yes. Well, they call them families.
Yes.
But there is sort of a rivalry between them, and some of them look at magic and its sort of role in society very differently. Some of them look at it as like her family looks at like if you have the magical talent, you use it for service. You do it to like better people's lives. There are other ones that believe that magic needs to stay completely out of politics because of the potential danger of being exploited and things like that. But there's others that believe that we have power. We should probably be, if we're not in charge, we should probably be in the halls where the people in charge are. So there's actually one specific family that tries to put mages in advisory positions in different houses and stuff so that they do have more influence. So they all kind of look at their role in society with magic very differently.
And
which one did you pick? I don't remember. Or did you?
No, I did. It's the
Trevisail?
Tennisail.
Trevisail.
Trevisail, yeah.
Oh, those are sort of like those are the catalogers. Now, you didn't take any points.
Yeah, I did. I got the 1 point in library.
Oh, you did? Okay, all right.
Because you told me, you said, if
Yes.
you take 1 point, I'll tell you about it. I'll tell
Right.
you a cool thing. So I took 1 point.
Okay, so you have the library. This is like the biggest closely guarded secret amongst the Trevisail. Their library actually moves, so it'll stay in a certain place until too many people know where it is, and then they have a massive enchantment they cast, which makes it disappear and puts it someplace else.
Right, and you told me if I spent more points, I would actually have a schedule of where it went, or I would know.
Right.
Otherwise, I got to hunt around or ask.
Right. So, like, you probably currently know where it is, but if you were to get there and find out it's not there, or talk to a fellow member of the same family, they would say, "Oh no, it's been moved. It's over."
Yeah.
So
Now, is there any way to tell at a glance what school, what family the mages are in?
not necessarily. You can always tell, like, apprentices, because there's certain things, sigils, and certain types of clothing they wear. But once they are
Little hats with propellers.
exactly, but once you're like a full mage, which you all are, you basically can do whatever you want.
And I'm assuming there's some sort of amulet or something you show the other mages, like for interest in the
Yeah,
library or whatever.
you've got
but-
some sort of sigil somewhere.
Okay.
It could be a ring, that amulet, something that you
Okay.
have that you use to identify each other.
So clearly she's a mage, but I can't tell. I'm going to make an assumption that she's.
Well, no, she's a special case because she's part of the Holy Martial Orders, one of the Holy Martial Orders. So they have livery.
Oh,
So I don't know. Are you wearing your livery right now or no?
It's first I've heard that I have livery, so
You have it if you
So,
want. It may be
yes.
something that you eschew, but you have it if you want it.
I will wear something livery-ish, but nothing impractical. How's
Okay.
that?
And which order was that? Was it Marigold?
Order of the Marigold.
Marigold.
Yes.
So yeah, you would probably recognize, because those are like, they're kind of like medieval knights, but they're more service oriented, and it's more of a position where people, and they're not, most of them aren't mages, but there are mages that go into one specific Holy Martial Order. But they are. I'm trying to think how best to describe them. They're kind of like a combination between like a knight and, you know, isn't it in Germany where they have those guys that the apprentice to learn like a craft, but they have a period of service where they go around and fix stuff for people for free. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah. There's guild members and that kind of thing. It's also
There's a specific name for it. It's like a German institution or something, but it's sort of like that. They go around and help people. They're not like, well, I was born on the third son of the 8th Earl of blah blah blah, and so I get to wear armor and lord it over people.
Is this like the Mormons when they have to go do their mission service thing?
A little bit.
Come back?
Sometimes their help isn't necessarily wanted or helpful. That does happen.
Okay.
But I mean, most of them, not all of them, but most of them probably see it as a calling, and it's something that, you know, they go out and try to make the world a little bit of a better place.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm going to use my prodigious detective skills and make the assumption that since she's out helping people in this order, she's probably a Castigan.
Okay.
Because that's what her order does. That's what her family does, right?
Yeah, I
The
think that,
Castigans are all healers and helpers.
yes.
So,
Okay.
being the detective I am, I was like, Castigan?
Yeah, good eye.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, do me next. Do me next. Tell me. Do me next.
You're a ranger.
Wow, that's really good.
We
impressed.
worked together before Dale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's right. I remember that.
And I don't know you. Your name... Wait. I can see that you are recently in town. You didn't know about the sewage on the ground. I can see also that you have worked very hard and seem to have been around the country a lot. I can tell by the holes in your armor and the patching, and that you are a semi-professional sellsword.
My eyes slim at that, and I say, "Yeah, how'd you figure all that out?
What I do.
He
My
has a
car.
good eye.
You're a mage, eh?
I'm a private investigator.
I just want to let you know right now, I'm not too fond of mages.
Oh,
I don't like people who hide behind magic.
Well, I don't hide behind magic. I just use it right out there.
I'm a fan of card tricks. I like when they make cards appear in your pocket.
Those are fun. I'm okay with that.
We don't really do that kind of magic all the time. You know, okay.
It's all right.
That's what I'm
I
afraid
find
of.
that an acceptable answer.
And I grab another piece of bread and I start like just kind of eyeing you as like,
Hungry there, aren't you?
always.
Always. So, what's everybody doing here? What brings you to the city? I guess we all have a meeting with this Blaze Turnwell, huh?
Yeah, got a letter.
Yeah, I got a letter too.
Which is impressive because I don't actually have an address. I don't have a place. I live outside of town in the woods. I don't know how they found me.
So who delivered the
Arrow
letter then?
to a tree.
I don't know. I woke up and they was right there on a rock next to me, and I said, "Well, that's must be for me because it's on a rock that's next to me where I was sleeping."
That's a good theory.
Yeah, I'm not a detective or anything. I just a best guess at that point.
You are the local ranger. This is your area. You know the woods. I'm assuming that someone from the city also knows that
Oh,
and went
hey.
to find you.
That makes sense.
You're kind of easy to find. You are not the quietest of rangers.
What do you mean?
You might have been snoring too loud.
Yeah, I have a deviated septum.
You know, yeah, you should have that looked into because, you know, that can really affect your health.
I'll have to talk to you later.
Yeah.
You're one of them health ladies, right?
Yes, I am a health lady.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. So after a few minutes, I'm assuming, does everyone kind of tuck in and start eating? Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, I'm just going to have a little something here because I'm a little peckish.
All right. So after a few minutes, two men come walking in. One is a tall man, and his hair is like neatly combed to the side, and he has short hair, and he looks very much like the butler from Downton Abbey. That sort of look, just a little older, a little more medieval, right? Not with the tuxedo.
Does he have the most annoying voice?
Maybe he should now. And he comes in, and behind him is someone who is very obviously of age.
Oh.
In fact, he's probably, you might even know who he is. His name is Dostomir.
Gostamir? Like
Dostomir. And he is a part of the Imperial Council of Viziers.
Is he wearing his sigil upon him? So you know
I'm going to look him up right now. He's a Sage Wallow.
And you're going to have to refresh my memory on
Okay,
what
the Sage
Wallow
Wallow,
is.
they broke off from the Trevisile 2 centuries ago. And the family seeks to place mages in the castles, palaces, and citadels of power throughout the empire.
Those guys.
They disagree with the distancing of mages from ordinary human society, which is kind of what the Trevisile are, that kind of their deal. Instead, they train their apprentices to serve as counselors to those in authority, thereby giving them access to many a powerful ear. Today, most great noble houses have a Sage Wallow mage in their employ, and there is a Sage Wallow on the Imperial Council of Viziers, which is Dostomir.
So we do know this guy. Is he old and decrepit?
He is old. He has long white hair, very typical looking mage. Do you have does anyone have area knowledge for around this area?
I got rid of it. It's
I
like
have
the first
area
thing I should have
knowledge.
had.
Do you? Okay. Go ahead and make an area knowledge roll.
Right. How many d6 are we
You're
doing?
you will always roll 3d6.
Always for free. Okay.
And unless you're rolling for damage, you always want to roll low. Not that intention on how you roll affects the dice in any way.
The hell you
I
say?
did not roll low.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
We got a critical failure for our very first roll in the game? That's amazing!
That's what you get for sitting next to me.
Burn it all out now.
Dostomir, considered one of the most upstanding mages in mage society. Extremely well respected, extremely knowledgeable, very powerful. Mages stand in line to be his apprentice.
Oh, okay.
And the two of them walk in, and Basil Turnwell says,
Blaze.
Blaze, sorry. Basil is
Basil?
Basil! Faulty Towers. That's just what... Oh, I wish I'd thought of that. Damn He says, "Thank you all for coming. Unfortunately, this was a very, very urgent and unanticipated matter has occurred, requiring this sort of roughshod assemblage. There's an unfortunate incident has occurred at the Imperial Citadel the evening before last. The Imperial House wishes to contract with each of you to investigate this crime. Before I go into any detail, it is the utmost importance that you exercise discretion in this matter at all times. If you are willing to give me your assurances that you will remain discreet, we can get right to work once you finish your meal here."
Discretion's my middle name.
Yeah, just gonna lock that up and throw away the key there.
Well,
Excellent.
Once you hire me and we work out the standard contract, I will do as you say.
Certainly, of course.
My rate is 20 till a day plus expenses.
Very well. If anyone does not wish to give me such assurances, you may have your meal and leave.
Oh, discretion. Absolutely. Discretion. Discretion.
Excellent. So he basically lets you finish your meal, and the two of them basically just sort of stand there politely. And Dostomir has not said a word. And they're basically just kind of sitting there, and you can see on Dostomir's face, he's like...
Is that impatience?
Impatience.
Okay.
So when you are all finished eating, is that going to take a while?
No.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me? Looks at the fat guy. Hey, how long is it going to take? I got a few rutabagas to finish. Maybe a loaf of bread. Is there cheese?
Yes.
Is there fried cheese?
Yeah, of course.
All right. It might take a little longer than expected then. Before the fried cheese course, I give him the rocks.
Okay. All right. So he says, if you are prepared to leave, we have a carriage waiting in the stable next door. If you please follow me. And he leads you.
Before we go, if you would please sign the standard contract here, and then all yours. And
what is it? How much?
It's 20 till a day plus expenses.
Okay. He signs
All
it.
right.
And then he lights a little thing. Gives you the whole deal. So
Nice.
all right, and then he takes you back down. You go downstairs, but as you're coming down the stairs, he goes over to the side to the wall, opposite the banister, and he kind of presses on it, and there's like a secret door that opens up, and he says, "If you'll please come with me." And he's kind of whispering because this is like out of sight of the main hall of the tavern, and he leads you, and it goes on a little pathway that leads like directly into the corner of a stable, and there is a carriage waiting there.
I go up and talk to the horse.
Okay.
Oh.
There's two horses.
Talk to the horses.
Okay.
And who's driving the coach?
Oh, there's a footman up on the.
Oh, hey, how you doing tonight? Yeah, I was just admiring your horses here. They're in fine fettle, aren't they? You want me to drive?
Oh no, it's all right. You can get in the carriage. That's Dusty and that's Twig.
Oh, aren't they the sweetest things?
You can give Dusty a sugar cube.
While the horses are distracted from that, I skirt around as wide from them as I can because I do not like horses.
Okay.
And I step into the carriage.
Okay.
Why don't you like horses? You seem a little frightened by them.
Oh, horses are the best.
I mean, they're kind of large.
I've had some bad experiences with them.
Well, that's a shame now. 'cause
Right,
they
they've
really
also
are
had some bad
wonderful
experiences
animals,
with
you
me.
Oh, no, you go ahead, hon.
What kind of bad experiences have they had with you?
I hardly know you. I'm not going to tell you that.
So you dated one?
I quickly dodged that. I quickly dodged your glances. And take a seat. Far corner of one of the farthest away from the horses as I can get.
Okay. Now, you notice like the carriage. There are no windows in this carriage.
Oh, perfect.
It's like once they close the door, it's like you're in a box.
Is it dark? Like no light coming in?
Well, there's like a little lantern in the corner.
Oh, that's nice. This is kind of uncomfortable.
You just don't know where anybody's hands are in the dark.
Hand checks.
And then the cart, you sort of feel the cart take off, and it's going through you can hear it kind of slopping through the streets. And
Does the smell get in?
a little bit, yes. It does get in a little bit. And it leads you through, and you can kind of hear the creaking of gates opening, and then you hear this like throng of people, and people are like beating on it. It's like, I need to speak with the emperor. Oh, you must hear my petition. That kind of thing, that kind of stuff. So you make your way in, and then it kind of goes for a while, and you're like going, and it stops, and it turns, and you can tell you're turning, and then backing up, and then so. Probably this carriage is probably going where carriages are probably not really meant to go, and then it stops and they open the door and you are in. You have no idea where you are, but
I do.
you think you're in the citadel someplace. You're basically in like a courtyard, and it's like stone walls all around, and there's like little windows looking out. But you're somewhere in some interior courtyard. The citadel area is huge. It's probably a mile on one end. It's big. So, but you're somewhere in there, and you're in some courtyard, and Blaze is there as well as what is it? I just lost Dostomir. And the two of them are there, and they're standing next to an open door.
This is like the private inner part of the Citadel that nobody ever gets to unless you are a guard or work for the Citadel.
Probably, yeah. This is certainly not a public facing space that any of you would
not
have
on the
ever
tour.
been. No, it is
It's
not
not on the tour, right? And is it like private grounds? Is there like does it look like it's, I guess, like somebody's private gardens? Is there some sculpture around? Is there, it looks like maybe a family play there? There may be some toys around.
You don't see any. There's no like toys or anything like that. There are some like there's some like a couple sculptures, and there's like a little garden in the area. But it looks like more likely this is probably an area where household staff get between areas of the Citadel, and they lead you into a room, and it's a very large room with a high ceiling, and along the north and south walls of this room are two rails set about 2 feet out from the walls that run the length of the room. It sort of looks like a giant closet, and then there's like a second set of rails above them. And you can see that there's sort of like whatever the medieval equivalent of a hangar would be. And there's like several of them in the room, dozens and dozens of them. There's nothing on any of them.
It's like a giant mud room.
But it looks like it's a place where you would store clothing.
It's the weapons check room.
No.
necessarily? Oh, right, okay.
You don't see any place to put weapons or anything like that. And it looks like there's like a raised dais in the middle of the room. And there's like mirrors like on stands that you can kind of move around and reposition. It looks like a dressing room.
But it's empty.
There's no clothes in here. So, and then on the opposite end of the room, there's a set of double doors, and Blaze and Dostomir are heading down towards that room.
The door we went through was a normal door.
It was a set of double doors. It wasn't super ornate.
Okay.
Obviously not used by, the Imperial family. And then they open those doors up. And probably the first thing you notice is the elephant. Because it's a large room. It's about 25 by 50 feet. It's very large. Closest to you is like a massive four-post bed. Looks like it might be even a little bigger than like a king-size bed.
It would have to if it's got an elephant in it.
Well, no, but the elephant is on the other side of it. The elephant's not in the bed. It's in the opposite end of the hall.
Specify elephant, not in bed.
That's an important little detail there.
Oh, and just before they open the door, Blaze says, "You might find this scene to be slightly disturbing." And then he opens the doors, and there you can see there is a woman laying on the bed. She is dead. It looks like her throat has been slit. And there is a man, nude, hanging by his ankles from a rafter. And his throat has obviously been slit as well. And I'm trying to think what else is in the room. That's probably about it. I mean, there's end tables and chairs and desks and things about, and there's another set of extremely large doors on the opposite side of the elephant. And Blaze says, "This is what we woke up to 2 days ago."
Is the room messy? Is it bloody? Or are they throats slit without evidence of blood?
There is the woman. They cut her and let her bleed out. You can tell very obviously.
All over the bed.
All over the bed, all over the floor. The man hanging by his ankles, there's a tiny smear of blood, and it is smeared from the wound where they cut his throat. And that is the only bit of his blood that you can see.
No pool underneath him or anything like that.
Tiny, tiny little bits of droplets, like the last remnants of the blood running out of his veins.
Is he hanging from his neck?
No, he's hanging from his ankles.
And he's hanging on a piece of rope, or
A rope, yes.
From a rafter, right?
From a rafter.
Does it look like he was allowed to bleed out on the bed? Like, is there an excess of blood that wouldn't be coming from the woman?
Go ahead and make a perception check, which would be IQ.
Okay.
If you have, do you have anything that modifies sight, acute vision?
No, I have hearing, taste, and smell.
Okay, so just
not specifically vision.
a regular IQ
Okay,
roll.
so IQ 9 or lower. That's 11. So no.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. There's a lot of blood, but you've never actually emptied someone out and measured it, so you're not quite sure exactly how much is there.
Gotcha.
Like an actual elephant. This is like me asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think the elephant did it, although I'm not sure because he doesn't have thumbs. He tied the person up.
It's not a live elephant,
And Blaze, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a big giant stuffed element.
No, there's a lot
That's
of
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
and like as you're entering the room, you can see like some help comes in and they're like scooping up elephant poop, and then they're getting ready to like put a like harness around its head to lead it out the double doors.
Tusks and all?
Wait, stop.
Yeah, it's got tusks.
Okay, does it look like it has traces of blood on the tusks or the mouth?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Vampire elephants are definitely a problem.
Oh, what happened here? Wow, what a mess.
I don't have speak with animal, do I?
I do not recall copying that spell description.
Is the rope tied off on the rafter, or is it up and over and anchored
It's
on the
up
ground?
and over, and it comes across to the four-poster bed, to one of the posts on the bed.
And is it on the poster, so it's not like on anything that would have been like a curtain rod or like
No. It's just like a
It's
rafter.
like an improv.
Is the rope old? Is it new?
It looks reasonably new.
And it's just okay. It's standard.
And
It's not
Blaze tells you,
gold.
says, we have. He says, apart from Dostomir's initial attempts to discover what has happened, the room has been left as it was.
Is Gostomir with us?
Yes, he's in the room.
What have you been able to divine so far?
My source of my brand of magic is not very good with the physical realm.
Scoff at that. But very oddly.
I'm going to look at Cassie.
He kind of
Is there anything you can get from the elephant?
leers at you slightly.
I'm going to leave the elephant for now. I'm going to cross over to the bed. Obviously, another one.
So you're ignoring the elephant in the room?
I'm ignoring the elephant.
Yeah.
Totally
Oh,
ignoring
God
it.
Doing my
damn it.
best to
Literally
ignore,
ignoring the literal
son of a
elephant in
bitch.
the literal
ignoring the large horse on the other side of the room.
So I'm going to start examining the woman and
Okay.
trying to establish time of death.
Okay.
I don't mind the mess. at
You
all.
have like medic or something, don't you?
I have diagnosis. I have all kinds.
Roll diagnosis. Probably add 2 points to your skill level. Because this is easy.
Okay. It's 10.
Where's diagnosis?
Diagnosis is
So,
here.
so it's 13. I said add 2, so 15. So you made it by 5. Okay. You are estimating the cause or the time of death about 2 days. Mm-hmm. Looking at like the rigor mortis and all of that kind of stuff that happens. Looks like that they cut her. You don't see any sort of defense wounds or any sort of signs of struggle.
So no bruises where this person, where the woman may have been held, or where the man may have been held, or anything
No.
like that. No extra rope marks.
No. No. She has it is basically cut to open up one of the two main veins, but I mean, it looks like if it wasn't for the fact that there's blood everywhere and there's a hole in her neck, you would think she was sleeping. It looks like whatever had happened, they got her and took her out before
So it's
she even had
like
a
a
chance to
clean
wake up.
cut, a sharp blade, where she wasn't hacked or anything.
Extremely sharp. Yeah, you can tell. That's definite. Probably a real thin blade, something like a straight razor, but that sharp, not like a typical dagger or something. But something
And the same
very-
for the man hanging up above, too.
Yeah, can we
Yes.
get him down? I want to take a look at him too.
No, not yet. Just wait. If anything, grab a ladder. Go up there.
Yeah, I was going to ask how high he is from the ground. Is it
His
way
head,
up
his
there?
head is probably about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground. The top of his head to the ground
okay.
is about
Didn't
2.5,
hang
3
him
feet.
too high.
Well, I'll just go
I
examine
want
him.
to walk the perimeter of the room, looking for prints made with blood. Like
Okay.
footprints or handprints.
Okay.
I've got tracking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tracking is perception, so that's what you say, IQ.
Yeah, based on IQ. You don't have like acute vision or anything
No.
like that. Okay. So it's basically
It says it's perception average, so
how many points do you have in it?
haha. That's the one I didn't put points in.
I mean, it's based on IQ, so it's at least 12, right?
Yeah, so it's at least, I mean, go with my IQ roll at 12.
Yes, sure.
So you said less than 11.
Okay, all right. You not only do you not see any footprints where there is around the woman's body, you do see a couple of prints.
Okay.
The rest of the room, none.
If I look straight up, is there an entrance? Or is there
Yeah,
like
are
an
there any like
opening?
windows
No.
or,
Like
or
windows,
anything on
like,
the
no,
This is
anything
like
above the
see a room,
rafters?
essentially,
there,
except for the room.
there is a window sort of opposite of the four-post bed, or not a window, but an opening with the shutters.
Right.
Because glass.
So a window,
Yeah. No glass.
but I don't think that's.
I don't know what the definition of a window is. Maybe windows don't have to have glass.
Well, if the eyes are the window of the soul.
Good point. But yeah, there's a window
like-
opposite of the
Okay.
opposite of the.
Wait. Everybody, let's just take this one step at a time before we get carried away here. Let's find out how they found this body and what happened, and we'll work our way out from there. So, who found the body, and in what condition? I'm going to pull out my little notebook and my
Okay.
bit of charcoal.
And I am going to look that up right now because I have a page for the crime scene.
Crime scene.
Crime scene.
Nice.
There they are. Okay. Blaze tells you that the body was discovered by one of the housemaids. Her name's Melsa. He can fetch her here if you wish to speak with her.
Yes. Melsa?
Melsa.
Yes, we're going to need to speak with her.
Okay. And that was in the morning 2 days ago.
And
And she was coming to wake the Imperial
who is
Majesties.
this gentleman?
That is the Emperor.
And who is this woman?
That is his wife, also known as the Empress.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Having never actually met them.
Entirely possible.
Who's the elephant?
And yes, and why is there?
The elephant doesn't have anything to do with this crime.
They were in the room, and elephants don't forget.
But if you wish to question the elephant will be in the elephant's pen. I can have someone show you.
Well, I'll check it out a little later on. We'll let the detective do his thing.
How does the elephant get in and out of this room? I'm
There's a
little
big set of double doors,
Oh,
real
okay.
tall. I mean, they're big.
Oh, okay, they're that big. Okay.
Yeah, they're big enough for an elephant to get in.
Clearly.
They brought it in and they started feeding it cheese.
Elephants do love cheese.
Is looking at where the elephant is the elephant in here often? Is there like elephant?
Like a
Medical-
giant,
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
there are
like bed for the
folks
elephant?
cleaning up after the elephant.
Yeah, like it was sitting there,
Like
dropping a deuce.
But I'm just wondering, is there like an elephant specific chains that they keep him?
Elephant
in?
scratch
like
tower?
They often entertain elephants in their boudoir at
Giant.
night.
No,
with
you
the
don't.
log.
You don't really see it. There's nothing that stands out as like, oh, that's elephant rigging or anything like that. No.
And is the elephant male?
No, female.
Along that same line, though, in the area
Okay,
where
just to be clear, now we're not ignoring the elephant in the room. Okay.
Go ahead.
along the same lines, sure, there's nothing holding the elephant out there, but can I tell that the elephant is there frequently? Because even stone is going to be, there's going to be markings from an animal that size.
Make perception roll. Oh, you can make tracking. You can use tracking. You got tracking stuff.
So that's 9.
Occasionally, but it's not like it sleeps here.
It's so it doesn't live there, but they bring him in and out.
Yeah.
In and out.
And the elephant's been in here for the past 2 days? Like they've let the elephant in and out, or it's been...
Yes. Yeah, they've been feeding it. We wanted to
Okay.
leave the scene untouched.
Okay.
I mean, we've been taking the refuse out. And
Jumping
feeding
it on the street
Oh, it's true.
Well, you have to do it starting certain hours.
I
now.
see how it works
right
around
before
here.
midnight.
We can't leave it in the Citadel.
I'm finding this puzzling here. You don't want us to. The elephant. You say the elephant has nothing to do with it, so you're leaving the elephant out, and yet you kept it here for 2 days till we got here,
Well,
only
when
to
we-
leave it out in front of us.
Well, we wanted to leave the scene the way it was.
Yes. So the elephant is important. Please leave the elephant here for a little bit.
Okay.
So who is it? Is it Gostamir?
Dostimir.
Dostimir.
Dostimir. I'm going to mess this up. I should write it down. So Dostimir, what do you think happened?
They wanted his blood.
They? You say they.
Whoever it was wanted his blood. King's blood has power. An emperor's blood would have more.
Why do you think they wanted his blood? Have you checked the body? Is there no blood in it?
I've checked the body.
Is there blood in it?
No.
Yeah, the dude is completely drained. I mean, it's, and you can kind of tell. There's no like splashes or anything around it. They were very careful.
And he's sort of alabaster white.
Yes, absolutely.
Were you able to ascertain how they got the blood out of the emperor?
I would imagine it was the little cut on his neck.
Okay. And when did you come and look at this scene? A day ago, or just now, or just today?
The day before yesterday. I was here almost immediately after the housemaid discovered the bodies.
Was there anything else in the room that's been moved or that you touched since that time?
No, the only thing I noticed that was unusual is that the guards were missing, because there's usually guards outside the door.
Do you know who was on watch that night? We need to talk to him.
He gives you the name of the 2 guards. It says we have not seen them. We have no idea where they are.
Do you have any way of tracking down their bodies?
We could try.
It would be advantageous. They've either been paid off or they're dead in a ditch somewhere. If you could ascertain that, that would help. We would know a lot more.
What about this
Are there any other
housemaid?
parts of your job you would like me to take care of?
I can start going through and interviewing the whole household myself. I thought it might be easier for you.
My form of magic does not involve this world.
What world does it involve?
One that you are unfamiliar with.
How many worlds are there?
That I know of? 82.
Huh. That's a lot of worlds.
Can we stick to the murder for a little while, please?
Right.
Yes,
What I'm saying is, in one of those worlds, maybe these 2 guards who aren't around, maybe they're there.
I can make those inquiries.
So you can help.
When I'm examining the bodies, do I find anything else wrong with them? Any underlying conditions? Any
discoloration around the lips or anything like that?
No.
so perfect health apart from the fact that they're dead and bleedy.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's no bindings on the wrists. I don't see any, like,
There's no, like,
skin under their
ulcers or- yeah, okay.
fingernails or no sign of poisoning. Nothing.
Has this housemaid been questioned thoroughly?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
She had left.
She's
this-
here.
She hadn't been allowed to exit, to leave us, the Imperial.
No, she lives here.
So, directly below the body, you said there were a couple of drops of blood or something on the carpet?
Just like really tiny, tiny bits.
Does it look like there was maybe something set there to capture the blood?
Any kind of like cups?
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
yeah,
make
you think
a-
that,
like
yeah,
rings.
there's the coffee ring.
Good
Yeah.
point. On the rug underneath it, there is sort of a very light circular impression.
Can we lift the rug up?
Sure.
And did it bleed through?
No. No, just an impression, like someone
sure,
set
I see,
something
I see,
down, not like
gotcha.
a stain.
Gotcha.
How big an impression? Like a milk jug size, coffee cup size?
Not that big.
Okay.
Coffee can size.
What's that? What's that, like about
Yeah.
8 inches in diameter?
And does it look like the blood ran down his face and then they wiped it off?
Yeah, that's what it looks. It looks like someone was very careful to make sure as much of the blood as possible got out of him, and was collected however they collected.
So I'm going to get out my magnifying glass and I'm actually going to look at the wound. Is it a puncture wound or a slash?
It is a cut. It is an incision. It's a cut,
And
and it's with an extremely fine blade.
Surgical incision almost.
Almost, yeah.
The knot that's used to tie him up, is it a very complicated knot or is it just maybe just your standard half hitch?
It is.
Because something a sailor would tie would be certainly different than something...
Sure.
Like a farmer or like a woodsman.
Right. It looks like a hitch, like someone would put when they like putting a tarp over a cart or something like that.
In the same, to
That
the
sort of-
bedpost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
that one's like looped around and just like a loop of the thing is put through it.
I'm
It's
gonna-
like whoever it was knew like the physics of ropes well enough to know they didn't need to overdo it.
I'm going to smell the rope a little. Does it smell like tar, or does it smell like the refuse outside? Is there any scent or anything on it at all, especially where they may have hauled everything up?
Make a perception.
Perception, or
Which is your-
search, or observation, or...
Oh, you've got all those skills.
I've got all those guys.
Not really search. What do you have besides observation?
Interrogation, intimidation, observation, search, streetwise, stealth, shadowing.
No. Yeah, just make just a visual perception roll, which is just IQ. And you want to roll low underneath.
Oh, in my tray. 4, 5, 6, 7.
What is your IQ?
My IQ is 12.
Okay, so made by 5. The rope smells reasonably new. It does not smell like a stable. It smells. If it smells like anything, it smells like a rope factory.
Okay.
Or-
Do I smell any perfume or
Any kind of musk?
musk or
Not yet.
oils or anything?
No. It does smell a little bit rusty.
Like blood rusty? Okay. I do have first aid, so I do know a bit about some anatomy and such. So, like, I can tell the smell of blood.
Yeah.
In fact, I think most people around here, death being fairly common, would know the smell of blood.
Right.
And the knot is the same that is around him as well, but it looks like something a teamster would use,
Something like that. Yeah, along those lines.
like a what do they call it? A trucker's hitch.
A trucker's, something like a trucker's hitch. Yeah.
I know you said that he was nude. Is she also nude?
No, she's in a nightgown.
And does it look like they tied him up and then hauled him off the bed, or does it look like there was some fighting or something around the room and then killed him? And
His side of the bed is like a little disheveled, so he was clearly in it, asleep at some point. But it doesn't look like there was a struggle. No.
so, like when they pulled him off the bed, did Did any of the bedclothes or anything go with him?
Uh,
Is that what it looks like happened? They tied his feet and they pulled him off the bed and hung him there?
Yeah, that's entirely possible. I mean, they're sort of pulled a little bit toward the foot of the bed, so that's entirely possible.
He would have to have been alive when they did that, because otherwise there'd be blood. There'd be a blood trail, right? Or some.
He could have been unconscious.
Yeah, he could have been knocked out.
Or in shock because his wife.
So no signs of bruising on the head or anything. No blows. No sign of like ingesting any kind of poisons or.
No, there's no like burn marks or rashes or boils or anything.
And that is a good question. Does it look like he was perhaps alive when they
Called him up there.
called him up there? Yeah.
Oh,
It seems to me they exsanguinated him like an animal. So they took him up alive and then stuck something in him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in a pleasant, fun way either.
Are these the only entrances to this room?
yes.
How tall is the window?
Well, it probably starts about like 3.5 feet off the ground, and it probably goes up. It's probably like 6 feet tall. And it's
Looking at
maybe
the
about that
edge
way.
of the window, is there any wood or other residue, like say from a plank that was placed to walk into the room? Because you said it's a raised dais for the bed,
Right.
which is what, like maybe 10, 15 feet from the window?
About, yeah, sure.
All right. I looked to see if there's any like splintering of wood
Yeah,
or like
markings, scratches.
scraping or
Okay,
anything.
make another.
Oh, that one-
Probably not.
14.
No.
Yeah.
It looks pretty pristine.
Okay.
So this door that we came through, there's usually a guard there in the courtyard?
No, the guard is usually on the other set of doors. That is the Imperial wardrobe, the room we came from.
And how do you? Are there any more accesses into that courtyard that you parked our carriage in that goes directly into this room, or is that courtyard sealed from the rest of the citadel?
Well, that door is normally locked.
Locks are incidental. It's the kind of thing that
Well, I mean, there are when you were in that there are like 2 or 3 ways into that courtyard. There are definitely multiple ways into the courtyard.
When you guys found the body, was this door unlocked?
It was locked.
And it's only locked from
Now,
the inside.
this door meaning the door to the
to the
wardrobe.
courtyard, yeah, to the wardrobe,
Those both sets of doors were locked.
and they're locked from the inside.
Yes.
And the double doors on the outside, were they also locked?
Those doors don't lock.
They just have guards.
Yes. There's usually guards posted outside of them.
And the window you said has no glass, but does it have shutters or anything?
Yeah. As a set of shutters that you can open out to the.
And those just have like the simple little hook things.
Yeah.
Or-
Something like that.
and it's also locked from the inside.
I'm going to start walking around the room again,
Okay.
pushing every, let's say, 2 to 3 feet
Okay.
against the walls, especially interior connected walls. But I do it all the way around the room.
Okay. All right.
So I'm checking because in my noggin I remember the secret door from the restaurant.
Okay.
Has the maid arrived yet?
Yes, she's here.
Perception.
Hello, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, of course.
You
What'd you get? Did you get something bad? Oh, that's not bad.
I got a 14. Sorry.
Okay.
I saw the 6 and the 5 and I thought, oh, but the other one was only a 3. So.
If you get a 17 or an 18, I need to know.
Okay.
Because that's when I have to be arbitrary and malicious.
Should I do it a couple times throughout, or do you want to just do
Just
one?
one's fine.
Okay, so I
you're
got
not finding anything.
is your routine the same every evening?
Oh, yes, sir.
And you work for the mistress? You are her dressing maid, or you work for
Some of the ladies' maid.
the lady's maid? I see. And can you tell me the what time they went to bed and some details of that evening? Was it typical?
I put them down about 4 hours after sunset, and I come in usually about an hour after dawn.
And was the elephant in the room when you came in, or
Well, yeah.
you say that like it's a common thing? Does the elephant have a name?
She kind of looks at Blaze, and Blaze kind of looks back at her.
Does the elephant have a name?
Cecil.
Cecil the elephant. And-
Spot with the menagerie.
Right, I see. Where is the menagerie on premises?
Well, yeah,
Okay. What other animals are part of the menagerie?
all kinds. Would you like to see it?
Perhaps after this, yeah. So, the elephant is often brought into this room?
No, occasionally.
Are other animals brought in?
No.
Okay, so did she look cagey about that?
I don't know. Do you think she looked cagey about
I
it?
don't know. Should I make an interrogation roll?
Sure, make an interrogation.
All right, I have an 11 for that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. I made it.
Okay.
I made my interrogation roll. So
How are you pressing her to?
that's been the intimidate. Oh, I guess it defaults to intimidation.
Well, intimidate and interrogate are two different skills.
Well, yes, but it says interrogation default intimidation.
Well, that just means
Okay.
if you have intimidation, you can make an interrogation roll at the default.
I see what you're saying. What was her name again? Mousy?
Melsa?
Melsa. Melsa, this is very important, and I really need you to stay focused. And I know that these questions seem routine to you, but I'm new here, and I need you to tell me everything. Yes, no matter how mundane it may be. Yes. All right. So, are there animals often brought in here?
No.
All right. And the elephant Cecil comes in a couple times a week.
No, not that often.
All right. And what do they do with Cecil?
Well, imagine they pet him.
Her.
That's right, I forgot.
Is there another elephant in the menagerie as well?
No.
Okay. So every night, or occasionally at night, before they go to sleep, they bring an elephant in that they pet, and this is
Yeah.
common.
It's not like it's never happened before. I mean, you got a dog, you let it on the bed once in a while, don't you? You gotta have a heart.
This is not a dog.
No, but it's a very nice elephant.
And Cecil usually stays all night with them, and then in the morning you lead Cecil out, and when they
I
wake
don't.
up.
No, the people that work for the menagerie, they take the.
And so she was very fond of this menagerie, was she? Is this something she's collected and worked with?
I think it was sort of her pet project.
Was there an animal recently acquired in the menagerie that it's brand new to?
No,
Like within the last month, nothing has been added?
no, it's usually from expeditions. When His Imperial Majesty goes on an expedition, or his daughter, they go out and sometimes they bring something back.
His daughter?
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
It's been so long since I wrote that, I don't know. I give you a name. It's going to take me a
And
minute.
that's fine. and I'm assuming since I live in this town, I kind of have a vague
You
idea
probably
of
know who the heir is.
who
yes.
they are and what
and,
it is they...
And this is not a patrilineal
Is she sort of a...
situation, so she is
sort
the,
of a
the
tomboy girl who likes to go hunting with her father at times? Is this... I mean, I would sort of know that,
You probably
that about the ruling class of the town I live in.
you know that she doesn't live in the city. Like
Okay.
for security reasons, she doesn't live in the city. She's older now. She's probably in her 40s at this point. But she did serve in the military at one point. She did go out on expeditions and things like that.
When was the last time she was in town?
Oh, 2 months, perhaps. I think.
You've been born and raised in this castle or close to it. Is there these two doors? Are they the only way into this room?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. There's nothing that you're hiding from me.
No.
Okay.
What happened to the Emperor's clothes?
He got
And were they new?
That's the Imperial wardrobe. It's empty.
He has no clothes. The Emperor has no clothes.
I want to go into that wardrobe and start feeling around the walls like you did in the other room. There's got to be clothes in here somewhere.
Basil walks in and he's like, and he kind of clears his throat.
Blaze.
Secret cache.
Blade, sorry, damn it. and he says, in his later years, the Imperial Majesty became rather just fell out of my head.
A nudist?
Naturalist.
Saucy, Randy.
Eccentric?
Eccentric. And for health reasons, he decided quite some time ago to eschew the use of clothing. It has made state visits and dinners rather awkward.
Oh, so who's asleep like that? And I point to him like naked, strung up.
He's like that all the time.
And the Empress has got a robe on or something, right?
It's like a nightgown. or
Nightgown,
something.
yeah.
Clear to assume that she didn't share his
No.
naturalistic beliefs.
There's blood all over the nightgown, I assume, as she bled out.
Yes.
Is it all over the bed? Is it trickling off to
It's
the
like
sides?
soaked into the mattress, all down. There's a puddled on the rug underneath the bed. Yeah.
I'm going to start looking at that puddle and just seeing if I can ascertain anything. Any weird smells. Or, weird traces of anything in that puddle. While I'm under there, is there anything under the bed? True to the name, true to the Beagle nickname.
Right.
I start sniffing around under there. Yeah.
Down boy.
No, there is nothing under the bed.
Milsa, do you know who was on duty at the time? The two guards?
Duty.
Elephant duty?
Gives you the two names.
And were you close with them or knew them well?
Well, yeah, I knew
Were
them.
they the type of people that would shirk their duty? Were they
Oh,
older
no.
men who earned this position?
Well, one was older, one was young.
And do you have any idea of where they may have gone? Did they go down to the kitchen for a snack that night?
Oh no, we sent someone to where they live, and no one's seen them.
I see. And is there a changing of the guards at all at any point during the night, or is it they stay there all night long?
The change in the guard happens right after they go down for bed, and then the guard's not changed until morning.
Okay.
And when the relief came, there were no guards. That's when they came and got me.
Are there any usually patrols that also go through?
Occasionally, I mean, there are people who, patrol the halls, but not much.
Do you know who was patrolling the halls that evening?
No, you need to talk to one of the footmen.
Okay, I'm going to look up and say, do any of you know, or to the wizard and the butler?
Blaze.
Basil?
Good job.
Basil. Basil!
Do you know who was on patrol in this wing that
He says,
evening?
I believe that would have been Mr. So-and-so.
Can we have him up here, please?
Of course.
While he's asking questions, I'm going to mosey over to the door where the guards would be, and I'm going to look around to see if there's any evidence of scuffles, of dust all over the place. Somebody dragged away.
You make a...
Observation, search, track? Oh, track would
He's
work.
got tracking.
That's 6, 7. I did that with 5 points to spare.
Okay. You can kind of see impressions in the floor, like where people have been standing. They're obviously not standing perfectly still.
Right.
But you can see, but you don't see any movement stuff away from there.
Interesting.
Dale, do you think you could track where they went if they actually physically left?
Well, it's harder to do over stone.
Of course.
I could try.
You're one of the best.
Well, thanks. So are you, buddy.
Why, I hired you the
the
first time.
best.
With that roll, we'll just tell you, it doesn't look like... You would at least get an inkling,
That there was...
and it looks like... It's like whatever dust collected overnight, it's that faint. But it looks like they were just standing there. You don't see
Look
see
up. What is above me?
a ceiling.
Right. But this is a castle, right?
Yes.
So is this
I don't
ceiling...
know how castles are built, so I don't know what their ceilings look like.
Well,
I'm going to say there's rafters, though.
most castles have to have some form of timber set up.
Yes.
So if I look up, am I seeing like a peaked ceiling,
Probably
timbers across?
Probably flat.
Okay, so it's just basically like a square set, like
Yeah.
medieval style castle where literally.
Yeah,
just-
I'm like picturing Princess Bride corridors.
right. Well, I'm thinking like along it more medieval, where it's just kind of they put blocks together and just kind of stacked everything. Because that's what I'm thinking is there might. That's why I kept touching the walls, is to see if there's anything that somebody might have been able to come in and out of. But there's not. It's just a flat,
Yeah.
like all rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's nowhere. They don't seem to have gone anywhere.
Have you
by
checked?
their own?
The maid says there's no other way in here, and I saw you checking the walls, and I saw you also checking the walls.
Nothing.
You found nothing, no other way. And you checked the window, yes?
How quick would it be for me to go outside to where the window?
You can do that.
I want to go over there and see if, because that I'm assuming is not grass. It's still courtyard, like concrete.
Yeah, stone, probably stone flooring.
Yeah, stone, not concrete. Concrete would be way later. That happens when Basil comes around. Right, yeah.
Blaze.
I want to take a look. I want to see if there's any indica of traffic at that window.
Outside the window.
No, and once you're like outside the castle and looking at it, you realize that you would have to fly to get up.
Oh, we're that high up.
You're
The room
pretty
is
high
that
up. Yeah, you didn't know that when you because you were going on inside that carriage. Didn't really.
Fascinating.
So,
But yeah, you're
your character's name
I mean,
Ziegel.
measured in modern stories, it's probably 4 stories up.
Ziegel? Ziegel, you had an extensive military career. Just hypothetically thinking, if you were a guard here, what is it that would cause you to leave your post?
Disturbance somewhere else.
Distraction of some sort.
Or command from whoever was above him.
Right. I've got the patrolman coming by here to see if he at least saw them at some point during the night, so we could narrow down the time frame when this happened. But it might be interesting to maybe talk to some of the other guards to find out what these two were like, and perhaps who the boss was. You
Yeah, I can like
you have a soldiery air about you.
Yeah, I'll give you a approving look, like, oh, it's not a bad idea. And I ask Blaze if I can talk to like the captain of the guard.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I will split the party.
Okay. So
We can have him brought here.
I might walk. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to talk to them where they are and take a look at the lay of the land while I'm at it.
Let me know what you
Yeah, sure.
find.
Yeah, just make observation. I'll say we're going 10 minutes.
Okay.
It's about as much time as I'm going to
So-
take. Like to look for
And this entire citadel is completely freestanding, right? There's no, judging from the map, there's no like hills. Or,
No.
Like this is all plain. This
Yes.
is like flat land.
So you have medical knowledge.
Yes.
It looks like they put something here and bled him out. Do you think they used a tube or a medical instrument or anything to facilitate that, or do you think they just slit his throat and let it bleed out?
Well, you know, they got a really good puncture there on one of the major arteries, so they could have bled him out just from that small wound. But, you know, with the vessel underneath, they'd either have to, like, change it out or it have to be a pretty... Because, you know, the impression that you gave us, the diameter wasn't that large, but the human body can hold a lot of blood. So I'm wondering if, you know, it had to get changed or out, or if he was bled partially someplace else, or I don't know. But, yeah.
Here's where I'm curious: is if he was alive, his heart would be pumping, and that would make the blood go faster.
That is true, yes.
Is there any way we can ascertain that?
At this point, 2 days later, there isn't a lot of detail I can glean. Right.
Because I know when they butcher an animal, they'll keep it alive as long as they can until it dies to help get the blood out as fast
Well,
as they
there's
can.
really no sign of like stress to the body, other than just obviously the fact that he's dead, because you can see that with your own 2 eyes there. But there's no broken blood vessels in his face or anything that might indicate that he was struggling or suffering or anything like that. I do have a question though, because he's hanging up there, being bled into this bowl that we think was there. And you said that it looks like his face was all wiped clean, but what about his hair? Because if you're hanging upside down there and the blood is running into your hair, that's not so easy to wipe up.
There is no blood in his hair.
No blood in his hair.
Whatever they did, however it happened, they must have had some way to channel the blood where they wanted it to go.
Oh.
Do you have medical equipment that would go into an artery, and like a hose or a tube or something common?
Like a cannula?
I don't know. I only know first aid. I don't do a lot of medical work.
There could be stuff like that. In this era, it's probably more of a torture device than a medical device,
Yeah.
but it probably exists.
I mean, there's exsanguination as far back as Egypt, so I mean,
Right.
you can-
Butchers have to do it somehow too.
Yeah, well, you got to remember that kosher and halal butchers literally hang the animal upside down and cut them ear to ear. So in this particular scenario, it would be more like an embalming situation where they're trying to extract the fluids and then
You do know a lot about butchering. That's, again, one of your
It's an
ranger
animal
skills.
thing,
Right.
you know?
Well, here's the interesting thing to me as well is that the knots seem fairly industrial, like something a teamster or a butcher or someone who's used to
Oh,
tying.
teamster. I know all about
possibly
the
a
teamster knots.
logger. It could be the kind of knots and the kind of rope are pretty standard for a city this big, though. That's my thing.
It's
I mean,
new,
It's newer, so
which makes me think it's somebody that went and bought it specifically for this purpose.
There
They
was a
don't do it
task
very
involved.
often.
that impression on the carpet that we talked about earlier, was it a ring? I know it's very subtle. Was it a ring, like a pronounced ring, or was it kind of an indentation? Like
An
a
indentation.
bowl, like a bowl.
Yes. Yeah.
So
If there was a bowl.
So it's not going to be a dairyman. It's not going to be somebody who frequently juices fruits of any type. But I'm thinking, it's maybe a salad maker. I don't know.
I'm assuming it was a jar of some sort because they're going to want to put a lid on it so they wouldn't spill anything.
That's true.
And it's
Okay, I'm gonna
Go ahead.
cut to your
Sure, yeah.
the captain.
Have I
of
been
the
able to
guard.
track down the captain?
Yeah, well, that Blaze takes you
Okay,
to
gotcha,
his
gotcha.
place, and you walk in, and it sort of looks like a kind of like a barracks. There's like a desk sitting there, and there's weapon racks on the walls, and you can see there's little cubby holes where people put their liveries and things like that. And he looks like he's in his mid 40s. He's sort of like a medium dark skin and bald, a lot of scars, obviously a veteran. And you also, by the expression on his face, you can tell that you have never in your life seen someone so afraid for his job.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, yes. This is the guy in charge of the guards.
Yeah, yeah.
this
in a
literally
place where
happened
the
on
Emperor
his
is
watch.
dead.
Sure, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
gotta suck.
I try to put him a little bit at ease. I'll walk
Okay.
in, with a respectful stride. Say, sir, thank you very much for seeing me. Got a few questions
course.
for you, if that's all right. I say, were there any kind of disturbances the night that our dear Emperor and the Empress passed on?
No. I walk the halls at night, make sure the guards stay awake, make sure they stay at their posts. And in fact, I did see. He gives you the name of the two guards. It's the same name as the other one. And that would have been one bell past midnight, the closest bell to when I was there, and they were there. And then the only commotion was in the morning when they heard Melsa scream, and she, one of the relief guards had arrived and came down and got me and said that the guards were missing.
Just for some clarification here, when would they have been relieved? Crack of dawn?
Yeah, usually right before dawn.
Was there any reason these guards would have left their post? Anybody else who might have given them some kind of command? I assume you did it.
No. If I needed one of them for something, I would have taken a relief with me. We'd like to keep two guards in the Imperial Chamber.
Is there anybody else who may have had, I don't know, some privilege to enter the Emperor's room at any time that evening? Say, someone from the menagerie.
There are people, apart from the closest advisors, are sometimes invited in to the Imperial Chamber. Also, one of the animal handlers may be brought in if there's an animal there that needs to be removed.
And, you know of any of the animal handlers taking leave, or...
No. The moment this happened, we sealed, and the entire household staff is present and accounted for, except for the two guards.
Oh, good. And you've scoured for these two?
Gone to their homes. They haven't seen them. We've staked out their homes. They haven't shown. We're contemplating taking their families into custody to seeing if we need to interrogate them.
I think you may need to do that now. Besides that, though, or any places here in the Citadel that the guards like to, I don't know, secret themselves away to for a break? Bit of a drink, a little roll of the dice?
Yes.
Where would that be?
Well, that would be out by the rear entrance of the kitchen. That's sort of a break space for much of the household staff.
All right. Nobody's found anything curious around the Citadel that might indicate these guards have, I don't know, spirited themselves away somehow.
No.
All right.
And the younger one, he was a bit flighty. You never know when you hire a young man whether he's suited for the job. But his companion, he gives you the name of the older one. He says he's been in service for a long time. In fact, he probably would be replacing me when I retire.
Loyal, eh?
Indeed.
I respect that. I understand that he's a little on edge. Does he look like he's being completely honest with me? Looks like, is he hesitating with any of the answers?
No,
no twitches or whatnot?
No, he seems like he's not fucking around. He's going to tell you absolute God's honest truth.
All right, okay.
He wants to keep his job.
Yeah. I've heard this Melser's been sent over to the Emperor's room to be questioned by me colleagues. I think I might go, and I turn to Blaze, check out this space where the guards like to go, and see if I can find anything there that might explain where these two went. So,
He'll take you there.
Okay, will the captain take me there, or will
Well,
Blaze
Blaze
take me there?
probably went back.
Okay, so the captain will take me.
gonna
Okay, I will walk with the captain to
Okay.
wherever the guards like to spend their time, away from, shall we say, prying eyes.
Okay, all right. So you're on your way there. Anything else going on up in the Imperial Chamber?
Yeah, a couple of things. So, Dale,
Yes, sir.
it seems to me that there's probably more than one person we're looking for here. Somebody needed to hold the Emperor down while the wife was killed. It takes two people at least to...
Yeah, how big is the Emperor?
It looks like he's about maybe like 5'8", 5'9".
Meaty?
Huh?
Meaty?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You would need to hold one down.
It would probably take a couple people to hoist him up.
If he was alive, somebody would have to hold him down so his screams didn't awaken the rest of the household while somebody strung the rope up, and then they pulled him up. There was nothing over his face either, you said? There's
No.
nothing, didn't look like it? So. And then at some point they had to leave with a jar of some sort of blood. Can you do a little poking about the hallway and such and see if there's any signs, perhaps a spilled drop, perhaps some scuff marks, something
So-
like that? We're going to assume they left to and from the main entrance.
The main entrance, right?
I'll check the locks on this back entrance. That's how I would come and go. But it was a lock from the inside.
Right. I'll do that. I'll take a walk in either direction of the hall from the room to check to see if there's any sort of just like signs of any sort of like stuff that was disturbed or drops of blood. Anything that might have been, any detriment that might have been left.
Okay.
Also, you said I saw footprints in the blood. You said I saw some subtle footprints.
Just like
glad you remember that.
Just a couple, yeah. Like someone accidentally
Treaded shoes, smooth shoed, barefoot.
Not barefoot. Probably
Like hobnail boots.
Hobnail boots.
That would tell a lot.
It would have. They look like they're probably the soles of a worker's shoes.
So not particularly unique. Nothing that I would be able to say. I could narrow it down to.
Well, you have a decent partial footprint. If you wanted to go around and check shoes, yes.
Let's keep that in mind.
Are you able to track that footprint at all? Anywhere?
No.
Well, it like just goes a couple steps and then
it's out. Which direction does it go?
Towards the foot of the bed.
And the foot of the bed is pointing at the locked door or the unlocked door?
The foot of the bed is pointing directly opposite the window. So you have like the wardrobe doors here.
It has to be that way. But I do the observation in the hall.
Okay.
But the guards are missing, so regardless, if the guards are
We
out
have to
front and
figure
they're
out
gone,
where
we
they
still
are.
have to figure out where they are,
Yeah,
whether they
exactly.
left voluntarily or.
It's a 14.
Failed.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't see anything.
So this is their bedroom, and there is mirrors and shiny objects around.
Oh.
Well, there's a bunch of mirrors in the wardrobe. There's no mirrors in here.
What about a sufficient amount of pooled blood?
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, but it's 2 days old.
It could be.
2 days old.
It could be a shiny. Any shiny surface. It could be a shiny piece of glass. It could be a jar, a bottle. It could be a hand mirror. It could be.
Pooled blood. I just want to see you do it.
Okay. Well, there is the pool of blood, and there's also like a vase, like a brass vase that's got a kind of a polished surface,
Okay.
sitting on a table next to the window. Inside.
Are you going to pull out the shower curtain right now?
Let's see, I have a couple more questions though before I do this, because once I do this, I'm not going to be worth.
Yeah.
If I'm able to do it,
Yeah, that
it may actually
T
kill
cost
me.
of that thing is sick.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Well, hopefully she can help me. I might try something later, but I'm going to need
problem.
your help.
I can sort you out.
So
Maybe we can daisy chain everybody together and give you a little extra, like hold hands or something.
I need to figure out how these people got out of here as well. Somebody must have seen something, because a couple of people carrying a jar of blood can't have gone unnoticed.
I'm ignorant of the magical ways. Can you make people fly?
Yes.
So is everybody okay if I start getting this poor lamb cleaned up? I'd like to get her off the bed and start mopping her up.
I just want to do one look on her to see how many stab wounds and if I can ascertain what they used to kill her.
Well, okay, I already examined her. She just has the one.
There's one
The one
incision.
cut.
There's no other marks on her.
Okay.
There was nothing underneath her.
No.
Is it also a really clean incision like the one?
Yes,
Look,
very
probably
sharp
made with
blade.
the same blade. Yeah. Let me get to you and outside in the break area. So basically, like outside, like there's a back kitchen entrance, where the suppliers come and bring their stuff in. Then like right around the corner of that is an area where there's like you can look. There's like no windows or anything around where people can sit and have their break in peace, and no one really knows what they
Copper can full of sand with cigarette
There you
butts.
go.
are. Can with stand full of cigarette butts, exactly. That sort of thing.
Ambiance.
And there are a couple of you can see there's a couple of household staff back there. There's like one of the footmen or one of the guards and like a milkmaid talking.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You know, actually, while we're on the way there, I'm going to ask the captain if, so the older guard, was he beholden to anybody? Any debts, enemies that he'd made throughout his lustrous career?
Not that I know of. He was a very upstanding, very moral, very religious man.
You mentioned bringing in families. I was wondering, what about that younger one?
Oh, I don't think he would have been here for much longer. He's just not suited to it. He wants adventure and he wants excitement. He doesn't want to sit around guarding doors. You know the kind. When we were in our younger days.
Yeah, I kind of give
How
him
old's your
this
character?
knowing look. He's 32. I
Okay.
think. Yeah. He's got some seasoning, you know. Yeah. Wow. Looking for adventure. Wow. He hadn't been working here long then.
About a year.
Was he known to associate with shall we say, unsavory sorts? Come from a
he-
good part of town.
He's a gambler.
Ah, okay, all right. My own kind of gambling habits start to raise red flags.
Right.
Did he associate with anybody here who might have known him? Any of the staff? Any of the the guards that might have information about him?
Oh yeah, most of the footmen probably.
Okay, all right. He was a gambler. It's safe to assume he's perhaps had some debts. Maybe had some favors he owed people.
It's possible.
Hmm.
I don't know if he would do anything that would result in something like this.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know he had a penchant for gambling. I hadn't heard if he owed a lot of money to the wrong sorts of people, though.
It doesn't take much.
No, it does not.
As we're talking, and we make our way into this break area.
Mm-hmm.
You said that there are a few individuals there.
Yeah, there's another footman there. I say guards, but they're really
Sure.
footmen.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Do any of them, like, I'm just kind of looking out of the corner of my eye, are any of them listening with any piqued interest?
Well,
Our
there's like a footman and a milkmaid out here, and he's
Okay.
obviously more interested in talking to her than what
Oh,
your
sure. Okay.
conversation is.
All right.
But yeah, they're there.
Okay. Oh gosh, nobody's found this younger guard either, huh?
Neither.
Okay, neither of them. I look to the footman. I think I'm kind of beginning to run, wrap up here with this particular line of questioning. I just look at the footman. I say, hey, chap, any place out around here that you and the other footmen, the other guards, the other staff like to hang around when you're done with your imperial duties, shall we say?
Well, sometimes we go down to the Crown.
What is this crown?
He tells you what street it's on.
Okay.
It's a tavern. Are you from here?
No, I'm new
Okay.
to the city. Yeah. Recently assigned, shall we say?
He tells you it's a tavern. It's not as posh as Graggle's Spleen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a decent place.
Okay, all right. I will take note of all that.
Okay.
And then I will tell the captain this has been very, very useful. I will return to my friends up in the Imperial Boudoir, and I will join you and share what I found.
Thank you. Okay.
So they were going to bring by the person that patrolled, or was that the captain of the guard?
Oh, that's Tim. He
I missed
probably
that part.
will come up
Okay.
if you have
Yeah.
more questions.
All right, then you can explain that.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to check the locks. I have the lock picking skill. I will roll it if you need me to. Check the locks for the closet and check the locks around the window to see if they were tampered with at all. Is there any way I could tell that?
Sure. Yeah. You can make a lock picking skill. Make a lock picking roll. Is lock picking dex based?
That's a really good question. I will tell you in a second. Lock picking is IQ.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Just what I wanted.
12. I got 4.
Did you really roll a 4?
I rolled a 4.
You are 100% certain that there has no one has picked either of those locks.
Okay.
That's a critical success.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that with a certainty.
Good. I can tick that box off.
Could I check? Open the window. I know I'm hopefully not beating a dead horse here. I
Or
want to
elephant.
look over the window on the outside
Mm-hmm.
to see if there's any like holes or something that can be attached, like a ring in there, or
Okay.
like an arrow bolt or something has been shot into it.
So you're going to open the thing up,
I'm gonna,
stand up on it, and then you're going to kind of, because it's tall, it's like 6 feet high.
well, yeah, I'm Patrick Warburton height. I'm like 6'5".
Okay, so you're going to kind of get up there and feel around. Just give me just a dex check at +2.
X plus 2. That would be on this sheet. Huh. Oh yeah, 12.
Okay, you don't fall to your death. All right.
Yeah, that's always a plus. Because it's four stories.
Right. So you don't feel any. There's no like holes. There's no rings or any like what are they called, pitons or
Yeah,
nothing.
and we're at the top floor.
There's like the top with the little
Turrets and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, the parapet.
parapet.
Crenellations.
Crenellations on the the little thingies that you can hide behind.
Such nerds. You.
Words are important.
How accessible is that? I mean, aside from like the guards. I mean, the guards are. I'm assuming that there's people walking the roof.
There's a ladder that leads up to that.
I would like to go there.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take a look at something upstairs.
Okay, well, just so you know, none of these locks, this lock or the window lock, have been tampered with. So it looks as though they came and went
Had
through
to
the
come
main.
in from the inside.
They had to come in, unless there's another way into this room, and they swear there isn't. They had to come and go through the main corridor. So if you're going to look for clues, it's the main corridor. We still, either the guards are left on their own, which would be hard to find, or they were knocked unconscious and dragged.
Which
You're almost certain that did not happen.
Yeah.
Because of the
there's
dust
no
on the floor.
The guards' bodies have to be somewhere if they're still alive, whether they left on their own volition or whether they were killed and dumped around. Perhaps can we sniff around and see if there's...
I actually was literally going to ask if I could smell anything that is not... How do I put this? That is not an expected smell in a place like this. For instance, the smell of burning flesh. That is a smell that would linger.
Sure.
You know, that's not something that would just waft away fairly quickly.
Right.
So I kind of want to literally sniff around.
Okay.
Because I want to kind of, that reductive thing where I'm trying to get rid of things that I...
Right.
Okay, so...
Eliminate all the...
Eliminate...
And whatever's left must
yes,
be the truth.
What my
Okay.
grandfather or ancestors.
What
would I do?
This would be your regular perception.
Okay,
it would
so
be
that's-
smell if you have anything that affects smell.
No.
Okay.
Scaredy farts count?
No. Though that might give you a die roll penalty if you're having them now.
It says a -6 on that one. Beans.
Make it by a bunch.
That's
a
6
6.
points.
What is your
12?
Oh boy, it's made by 6. Okay. You're getting kind of a inside. It's real difficult to tell because the smell of blood is still permeates everything. But when outside where the footprints are, where the guards were, you kind of get sort of like an earthy, loamy smell near them, and that is not anything that you expect. And it's just like barely a hint.
Huh. It smells weird here. It doesn't smell like building. It smells like forest.
Well, they did have an elephant in here. I'm surprised you smell anything at all.
But not...
It doesn't smell like elephant poop. Or elephant feet. I mean, I don't know if you've smelled elephant feet. I don't know how well traveled your character is.
There's no kink shaming here. It's kind of earthy and loamy. And there's nothing leading away. Like, I'm not seeing anything disturbed.
No.
I've asked the household staff for like a clean sheet
I described that to you.
and a basin and of water and cloth, and I've gotten her body off of the bed onto the clean sheet.
Okay, well, there's the Basil's like, and maids are coming in to help you
Okay.
and to do this for you.
So we've moved the body. I want to do it myself.
Okay.
I thank them kindly for the
Well, they're going to stand around and hand you things.
That's
then.
fine. And so I'm getting her bloody nightgown off her, keeping her respectfully covered, and I start to clean her bloody body.
Okay.
Does she have any birthmarks, tattoos? I know you said there's nothing else wrong with her apart from having her throat cut.
Right.
So is there anything else interesting or unusual about her body?
She probably has a couple moles here and there, but other
Are
than
they
that,
cancerous?
No.
One's a little bloody, but not that bad. It's not, I think you might think it's just
having
from
a
the
regular
spillage.
border.
But I mean,
overspray.
There's no like tattoos or anything like there's no 666
Yeah, she's not
buried
marked
in
in
her
any way.
hair.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
So my goal at this point is to get her, respectfully cleaned up, and wrapped in a nice clean sheet so she can depart to wherever she needs to go.
Okay.
But that does leave the bloody bed behind for examination.
Right.
Because we haven't looked under her body before now.
You wrapped her up in the nice clean sheets and laid her out upon the bed.
Stop. Just stop.
With a bucket of whiskey at her.
And a gallon of porter at her head.
Whack for the doll.
You're not gonna stop. Okay.
So,
Have I arrived?
Yes, you're back.
Okay, yeah. I when I come in, I just give you a quick gesture. I wonder where you are. Did you go outside? Did you end up going outside?
I went outside but came back.
You came
and
back
I've
in,
been
okay.
in the hallway.
Okay, that's
When you get there,
Yeah.
I'm walking around and I'm smelling things.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I walk up to a wall and
kind of like I brush by you and I give you one of these. And I give you a little finger wave to join me. And as I'm,
I follow him in.
as I'm walking by you, you hear, oh, there's somebody who knows what they're doing. And I apprise you of everything I learned from the captain. There was a guard who, an older guard who loyal and characters vouch for. There's a younger guard who may have been indebted to some folks, and who may have been motivated to perhaps let something slide, not that all this happened. And then I tell all you all about the Crown as well, where the staff and the footmen and other guards like to spend their time.
Was there anybody patrolling? It was the last time they saw them standing in front of this door?
Yeah, I tell you about what the captain patrolled said that it was about a bell after midnight.
A bell after midnight. This is
Saw the
important. I
guards
need to know the
standing
time.
Here. Yeah, saw the guards standing there, but nothing else. Nobody else came by.
And then the
that.
door was opened again by the maid at...
Changing of the guard happened about crack of dawn.
And they were gone by then. And they did not open the doors. They went and got the housemaid.
So within about 6 hours? It's like, what time is dawn?
Probably
I actually just need a time frame in order for the spell to
about
work.
4.
4 hours.
About- okay.
So one bell they were there. About 5 bells after.
So
They
4 or
were
5
gone.
hours. And so that's roughly between midnight and 5 in the morning
Yeah.
of 2 days ago.
Well, it would have been after midnight when he did his rounds.
When he did his-
About
yeah.
an hour after midnight. So sometime between like 1 and 5.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Do you guys have any more questions about this staff before I try something? Do we have any... There is one other thing that we need to check. Because after I'm done with this, I'm not going to be worth a damn. I just need to make sure that you guys know this. We need to know how they got out as well. We're talking a couple of people carrying a jar of blood and the quickest way out of here. And I want to know if anybody saw anything or if they left any clues. Clearly somebody knew how to get in and out of here quickly. They knew how to get through. They knew where when the patrol was, and they knew when the changing of the guard was. So it was somewhat of an inside job, so they knew enough of these detailed information. I'm curious as to how they were able to get out of this room, because I'm going to say an hour to exsanguinate the Emperor, murder him and all of that, so at least an hour, if not more.
Right.
We'll know more in a bit. And then get out of here without being seen. So there's got to be a quick way to the street, or to a carriage, or to horses from here. I want to know what that route is and see if we can't find any clues.
I can do that. I will, once he's getting ready for his thing, I'll basically do a casing run.
Okay.
I'll just go and take a walk through the hallways and see what the fastest path's out.
Okay.
And
Well, ask Blaze, too.
yeah, and ask, and I want to kind of ask him after I make the walk, because I think at this point we should just suspect everyone.
We of course, and we also need to make sure there isn't some secret ways in and out, because if this was an inside job, it's entirely possible they know that as well.
Yeah. Well, and I think so far they've not. I mean, nobody's going to fess up to secret passages at this point. But I think we might have to muscle somebody later to get that information. Which we can go from the bottom up on that. We don't have to worry about these guys, because these guys have more to. I'm saying this all kind of in a nudge, wink, wink. I'm not as loud as I usually am when I'm talking on this one. I think it's an inside job. That's not what I do.
Okay.
So,
At
yes.
some point, a ranger has to be kind of sneaky. So at some point, you must have some subtlety.
The instincts
Subtle as
kick
a
in.
truck.
I mean, it's your job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know the appropriate times. There's times for everything. But that's why I concur 100%. So I want to, but like I said, I think we need to go to the bottom, from the bottom
But
up on
we
that.
could also use your skills if and when they get outside. If they had horses,
Yep.
if they were dragging
That's
anything.
what I want to do. Is
we
I
need
want to check for any detrita from the blood, like any animals I may have used, cart tracks.
Okay.
Just like do the full case of the joint.
Okay.
And
All right.
I suspect they had to come and go through here because I've checked the locks, unless there's an entrance they're not telling us about. So they had to come down through this hallway, and they had to get in and out quickly.
And they had
Enough.
muddy boots, I think.
What's interesting is that the town is filthy, and we don't see
Poop everywhere.
But somebody could have cleaned up the hallway. They probably didn't think to keep that.
Yeah, it's true.
This is an Imperial residence.
Yeah, they're going to clean the hallway, but leave the crime scene untouched.
Everyone wipes their feet before they come in here.
They probably have the mud room, the rack of shoes that everybody puts. It must get confusing though in a place this big because everybody has shoes.
Let's just.
I mean, it's got to be confusing.
Let's leave the
it's got
thinking
muddy.
aside for now and do more tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. I concur with that. I'm gonna go check out Case's scene. Then I do. I proceed. So
Right.
How do we want to?
Let's make a perception or tracking. Make a
Tracking. Yeah, do the tracking thing, Ranger. We love tracking.
I want you to do your thing so I can do a thing.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I want to get all this done first because once I get rid of my 2 hit points, because it's going to cost me. You said 12.
It was a lot.
I think it might be only 8, but
Because the time is with a killer. Because it's 2 days ago.
yes.
8.
You got an 8. And what is your skill level again?
12.
Okay. You are able to identify a couple of very quick routes out of the place. You don't see any like droplets of blood or anything. I mean, these are routes that are used regularly, at least by household staff, at least. But you don't see anything that. No telltale signs of someone carrying around a very large jar or whatever of blood.
And outside's probably full of cart tracks, horse prints.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stuff happening. Okay, cool. Satisfied.
It only looks like it costs. I'll read this to you, Stu, or you can look it up. It's page 107, but I'll read it out loud to you.
The sheets I give you is literally that cut and pasted.
You didn't actually send me the images.
Oh, I did. I skipped
echoes.
that spell. Okay.
Yeah. It says, this is going to be really boring for those of you following along at home. Cost is 3 to cast, 3 to maintain. The magnitude of the time modifier is added to the cost. So a spell that costs 3 for within 1 minute and would cost 8 for 4 to 40 days.
Okay, that is.
What are you looking for?
Where's the magic book?
Here you go.
Because it says these are long. The
107.
no. Where does it say the table is for the range, the time?
Time modifiers is page 81.
81.
Page 81 for time modifiers.
Oh, there it is. Okay, gate spells. So the time modifiers. This would be between 10 hours and 4 days.
So
And it says that the cost.
is
Oh no,
12.
that is for that specific spell. I'm sorry. So go by what it says your cost is. Because here are the costs for that, but that's for the time port.
So it would cost 8 for 4 to 40 days. I only need 2 days. So
Okay, yeah, you're good. You're good.
So the spell cost is
Was that 107?
107.
Okay.
It's the bottom of the middle column.
Images of the past. Yeah, so it costs you 3, and that gives you. I'm assuming it's just like the Echoes of the Past,
It
except
is.
it's visual,
Yes.
and it's only visual.
It
Correct?
is.
Okay.
It will, but it casts. It says I'll read it out loud because it's actually a really cool spell. You guys just might.
Well, I'll just describe the
go ahead.
effects when you
Okay.
cast the spell,
All right.
and you're going to select what time to start viewing.
This is correct. So that's why I wanted to know the time that this was happening. So
Right.
I wanted to know between
So
midnight.
the last time the guards were seen was around 1 a.m.
Okay. So between 1 a.m. and 6
5
a.m. and 5 a.m. of 2 days ago.
Okay, the duration is 1 minute, and it costs 3 to cast and 3 to maintain. The time modifiers apply each time the spell is cast for the same time period. There's a further penalty. A critical failure. The GMs may also allow the spell to be cast on the floor, wall, or object. Playback. The player itself is a simple illusion. I'm just making sure. Okay. All right.
So it sounds like it, just like R2, kind of projects a vision of what happened. All right. So what do I need to succeed on this?
What is your skill of the spell?
I'm looking at it. It was sort of a hypothetical question, but yeah. So I am. Let's see, images of the past is I need a 14 skill level. 14. That sound right?
Within a minute, that would cost 8. 4 to 40 days. Where is it getting that?
I did put 2 points into it, so that would explain. So it's a 14. It's a 10-second time, and duration is 1 minute.
Put in what you wanted, and I gave you.
Yeah, see,
I'm gonna redo
the
it
issue
also.
the issue I'm seeing is that the span of time that you have at this point is several hours long, right? And the spell duration is a minute, so I'm assuming it plays back in real time. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, but what's the so to maintain it would cost 3 for every minute
Per minute.
on top of that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get lucky. And get
Now
the
that
minutes.
is one of the things you could say. Okay, well, we know she came in at 5 a.m.
That's why I was doing
Right.
this. Yeah.
So if you figure, okay, it's going to take them at least an hour, and then they've got to get out. So maybe you just want to like pick a time and cast it at that, maybe 90 minutes before she would have come in.
That's what I'm thinking. But
You're-
and I'm figuring they're in here for at least an hour, so I have if I can just play like a minute's worth of that hour.
Right.
I might
You
at least
but you
get
got to. You
something.
basically may have to cast the thing. What I'm saying is, you may have to cast the thing multiple times. It's like I'm going to cast it at this time, and then at this time.
I'm not sure I
and then-
can afford to cast it multiple times.
Well,
We
have
can
to find
carry
out.
you out.
It's going to cost me
I've
8,
got-
right?
I
Then-
can lend you things, and I
Then
can heal
guess
you.
good.
You can lend me things. I understand, but I only have 10 FP, right? That's what I'm using fatigue points.
Yeah, fatigue. Yeah.
And the thing costs 8 total.
I restore subject's lost fatigue points.
Oh!
I thought it cost 3.
I thought we decided that for something within, because it's 2 days ago.
Right.
So within 2. Okay, if 3
But
is fine.
see, their example uses a range of time that is
Right.
not on that chart.
What are you going to charge me for this, sir?
I'm going to just charge you
$4.
I'll charge you. I'll charge you 4.
4. Okay, so I'm going to say
Glad I could help.
2 hours. 2 hours after they went to bed is what I'm going to aim for.
Or okay, no, they went to bed at 10 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry.
and you
2 hours after the guards.
Okay, so 3 o'clock.
3 a.m.
And I need a 14. And I critical failed with 3
666.
6s.
Holy
Look at this, everybody. 3 6s.
There you go.
Read them and weep.
Poor Lopin's
Merry
tentacles fly
Christmas,
out.
I freaking love it.
Man, that's like a DM's wet dream.
Well,
right
I might
there.
have,
That's like,
I might have to make another character after this. So,
oh no.
man, we were doing so well. I was doing so well on the rolls. I actually got a critical success at one point. What? Roll more
can't-
dice?
That face.
You can't unsee what you saw.
Okay.
And Basil saw it too.
Blaze?
Blaze. God damn it! Yes, Blaze.
And an elephant?
You saw a section you did not want to see. I'll just leave it there.
Does it put the sex in section?
I'm just going to leave it there.
the
And you know
elephant?
what? Blaze now looks at you.
Like, I now hold a military
Why
secret?
the fuck did I hire this guy?
Okay.
What the hell is this guy doing?
So this was at 3?
You don't know. You critically failed.
I did, I critically
You have no
failed.
idea what time it was.
Do we see the reaction? Are we like as just
Well,
standing
you might
there?
actually be looking there at the vase and seeing the reflections in the vase. That's what it. That's what it does. So, like, there's this shiny brass vase with a little nice flower arrangement in it, and on it you see some very unspeakable things.
This is why I like to stay in the forest.
Okay, so there's a question for you here, Stu. It says, each time the spell is cast for the same
There's a
time period,
-1, yeah.
there's a -1 penalty to skill. A critical failure will wipe away the object's memory of that.
Yeah. Oh. That's all you get.
Whoa.
Good thing you have a second spell.
Well, but I need another shiny object. Cause
No, you don't.
any
You said
memory
there
that
were
was on
mirrors
this-
there that could be like aimed in the wardroom, right? You said there were mirrors.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
a
that's in
different
another
room.
room.
Hold on.
That's in a different room.
Gotcha.
And it's not audio. It's just visuals.
Yeah, just
Whatever
the
the
visual.
mirror reflections, the
Yeah.
mirror cast.
And none of them are placed in. I know this is reaching, but happen to be placed in a spot in the room where, like, there might be line of sight.
No.
I mean, these people are kind of kinky. They might want to be able to see themselves, observe their various holes and devices.
No.
Do you think I can use the pool of blood? Was it shiny enough? Is it shiny enough?
At this point, it's kind of like a big scab.
But
Yeah.
it would have been okay. Yeah. So no. And there's nothing else shiny in the room.
Elephant's eyes are shiny.
Oh, Jesus.
That's really weird.
I like you.
Just saying.
They were really shiny. For
That
a while.
elephant was looking at something
It's
at
been
some
crying the whole time. That's the other thing. That's the other shiny thing in the room.
Elephant
is
tears.
Elephant
Elephant
tears on the
tears.
A
floor.
puddle of
That's
elephant
the
tears
poem.
on the floor.
And I'm not going to go with the
Yeah, don't.
with the
Let's
next
not.
joke that I was going to
Right.
go with.
I'm with you.
I'm not sure what
'Cause-
the age level is
Well,
on,
yeah, exactly.
on the audience.
Is it ew?
James in the chat room says to try the mirror on the ceiling because there's obviously one there. There's a,
Oh,
Is there any? Yeah, I'm going to try to keep this PG because my mind is racing, Stuart.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. There's nothing else shiny in the room. There's no more. Okay, so
our ideals.
I could cast Echoes of the Past on this, though,
yeah,
right?
sure.
Same parameters.
Same parameters.
Well, I guess we'll do that.
Okay.
Same parameters.
Shooting for 3 a.m. again, right?
4, 5, 6, 7,
7. What is your skill?
14.
You made it by 7. Okay. All right. You hear. Now this is like sound reflections coming off of the stone wall opposite the bed. is what-
Okay.
I'm assuming that's where you cast.
Sure.
So you can.
Can we all hear, or is it just him?
I think you can all hear it.
Okay, all right. It's magically projected.
Basically, it's yeah. I don't think I want to hear what's happening.
It depends.
The spell plays back whatever sounds it may have heard. So it doesn't say it gives it to the caster. It says you hear it, and you can hear.
Because if anybody saw what was on the base, then that would make sense. Like if
if we could
we
hear
all
it,
could
too.
see
Right.
the reflections of the past.
Yeah. So you hear. Oh God, this is taking forever. Would you guys hurry up? And then you hear someone say, "Quiet, you fool. We must be very delicate. We must be very precise. We cannot spill a drop."
Does that voice sound like our wizard vizier?
No.
A vizierd?
No. No, it doesn't. And then you hear the first voice go, "Oh my God, would you guys hurry up? We gotta get out of here. Someone's gonna be here. Someone's gonna come walk through the door. Shut up, you fool." And then you hear a third person say, "She's dead." All right. How much longer? Just wait. And this kind of goes on for a little bit. How long does the spell last? A minute?
I was just going to wait till you told me. Yes, duration 1 minute.
So you were trying to see if it'll go along.
Yeah. Metagame.
And then okay, so like right near the end of the minute, you hear one of them say, "Okay, that's about it. All right, can we leave from here? No, we have to be in that hallway." And that's the last thing you hear.
What did the voices sound like? Young, old?
The initial voice, the person sort of complaining about how long the thing was taking, sounds youngish. The other two definitely sound old.
You know what?
Was Demosthenes? No.
That
Dostomir and the other and Blaze,
Blaze.
with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Blaze.
Do any of those voices sound familiar,
They were.
Dostomir? Or Blaze?
Or Basil?
Or Basil, even?
Basil. He keeps calling me Basil.
Wow, 17.
Jesus.
Dostomir does not know who one of the voices is, but he believes he has heard the voice before. He's very careful about how he's
Phrasing it.
He's like, "I don't know who that is, but I do believe I've heard that voice before."
Like you've heard it in the hallway or something. Just saying. Like you've heard like an employee inside.
No, I think this would have been more a function of my mage family.
I'm an advisor to the king, or to the emperor.
Yes. No. That voice, no. I thought you were asking if he was.
Yeah, no, asking.
You said there was a younger voice and an older voice.
Mm-hmm. The younger voice and 2 older voices.
Could that be our guards? They said they did have to be back out in the hallway.
I'm thinking that might be the case. But if what Dostomir is saying, which is he sounds familiar but not from here, I'm wondering if the hallway... Obviously, the door is the entry point. But I think the hallway, as an area in space, is an entryway. Because of magics.
Yeah, can we leave from here? No, we have to be out in the hallway. So I think they exited magically from the hallway.
Yeah.
And Dostomir will tell you that there are wards on this room that prohibit any sort of teleportation or anything of that sort here.
Well, if I might be able to get more information out in the hallway, if you can do something to help me. I'm feeling very fatigued.
Mm-hmm. So lend energy.
Okay.
I can
This
store lost fatigue points at an energy cost to the caster.
Of 1 to 1, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not doing anything exerting.
Yeah, cost any amount the energy spent by the caster goes to the subject as restored fatigue.
Okay.
So you just roll your skill level.
Oh, that's not good. But
You rolled a 13.
I rolled a 13.
And what is your skill with that spell?
That is it energy? 14.
Oh, see, you made it.
I made it.
So
How about that?
how many fatigue points are you willing to give up to give to him?
How many did you lose?
8.
Oh.
But I need 2 more points in order for this to actually, for me to cast one. This is, we're talking points when we're talking magic. I need 2 more fatigue points in order for me to.
I actually kind of wanted you to hear this role played out.
This is where roleplay games break down. You can't necessarily roleplay out the numbers that I need.
Can I give you 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you 5.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, like if it was actually happening, we'd be like, you look a little too tired. I'll help you a little.
Actually, character-wise, I probably be like, oh, what do you need, hon? I can get you. Yeah, I can just give you anything you want.
On a scale of 1 to 5 Red Bulls.
I was going to say, is this like sandwich fatigued? Do you need a nap fatigued?
Is there anything shiny in the hallway? A suit of armor?
A
mirror?
Oh, there's probably like a shield on the wall that's a little shiny. You could probably use something like that if you want.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Can't
carry
see.
you. You're not heavy. He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
So, yeah, I guess I'll cast that spell on the images of the past on the shield.
On the shield,
Oh,
okay.
the elephant poop.
Can't see anything worse than
it's
that.
going to be, I'm going to say, 10 minutes after my last spell ended. So what did I say? I was 3? Anyway.
Yeah.
You're
Right?
at 3.
Oh,
so
it
you're
was
seeing
like
something
it was like
unspeakable.
301, so you're going to be start at 303.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Could have kept that one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it's 14, so I'm
Okay,
good.
so you made it by 2. All right. Okay. You see.
Oh, I want to make sure that Blaze and Gostomir are here.
Are there too? Okay.
Are there too.
So you can see it like it's like here.
In fact, hold on. I'd like to captain of the guard here as well.
Okay, no problem. So they go and they fetch the captain of the guard. And then you make your roll.
And the maid.
And the maid. Okay, all of
And
them.
the elephant.
It's getting really crowded in
There you
here.
go.
The elephant. We need the elephant.
Because it occurs to me
Because
that
they don't forget.
we don't know anybody.
The elephant shouldn't see any more than
See,
it's already seen, if you ask me.
More elephant tears will
The
help.
dick GM in me wants to say, okay, since you're having all these people here, I'm going to have you re-roll.
Okay.
Because the chance that you failing would be really funny with a big audience around. But no, you don't have to.
Okay. Good thing.
Oh, I saw 2 6s.
3.
You got all
Oh no!
Wow.
Okay. So, everyone gets gathered around the mirror,
Oh.
and you can see in the reflection of the mirror, you can see, as if they were walking behind you, You can see there's 3 figures. One is younger, and he's wearing like a sort of like one of those like skull cap kind of things that people who pile shit in the middle of fields wear.
Dennis. That guy.
Right.
Help! I'm being oppressed.
And then 2 cloaked figures with the hoods down, so no chance you can see what their faces look like. Both are carrying staffs. Both have the mage vibe going, but the other guy doesn't. And you kind of can see his face, probably good enough to ID him. And they kind of walk, and they all stop, and then one of the 2 cloaked figures mutters something, and all 3 of them disappear.
Who was carrying, and what were they carrying?
One of them is carrying what looks like a wineskin.
Okay. And I don't see any other, there's not like a hose or anything sticking out, like a douche nozzle sticking out of it.
No, it's like a wineskin. This guy's got a pack on his back, so he might have other stuff as well. But and it looks full.
Is there any distinguishing marks on the staff, or any way I can tell their school or their family?
No, they're. The robes they're wearing are like completely featureless. It's like they're just made out of like brown cloth or something, and there's like no like little filigrees or anything, and they're not wearing anything.
And are they roughly the same height? Are they
one's a little taller than the other?
Over?
They both look a little hunched over.
Claw-like hands.
You don't really. Well, you see the hand on the staff as they're walking in.
Is there any jewelry on there?
No. There's one of the in the top of one of the staffs. There's a gem, which is not uncommon to have a magic stone it's sort of like an energy reserve.
Yeah. What kind of gem? And because that might be important later if it's really unique.
It's probably we'll say it's like a very large emerald.
Okay.
Were there any signs of the guards?
No.
In that image.
They're not in that image.
Okay.
In fact, you can, while it's playing back, you can kind of turn and see other parts of the room
being
in the
reflected
reflection.
off. Yeah. Oh, all right.
And so you can look, and there are no guards there.
No guards. Okay.
Okay, and the young man with the hat or something, we can see his face, and he's wearing just like laborer clothes.
Yeah.
And who has the blood all over them?
No one's got blood all over them.
Not that we can see.
Even from the Empress?
It doesn't look like it. Make a perception roll and see if you can see blood stains. Because you're looking into something that's not a mirror. A mirror would obviously be ideal. This is something that's not quite as reflective.
Observation?
No, they're just your regular. I have to look up what observation does, because observation is a very specific skill.
Fail.
A very specific set of skills. You're rolling.
No,
versus,
I just made it. I made it
rolling
on
versus
it.
int?
Perception is 13, and
Okay.
I made a 13.
Okay.
What do you need?
You can see a little bit of. It's down here.
Yes.
You can see a little bit of little squirts of blood on the dude with the goofy hat.
Okay.
I guess Dahlia's hungry. Here. Text Zachary.
And what he's wearing is just sort of common clothes. There's nothing in it that says farmer or
apprentice
or
It looks
candlestick maker, anything. That might
He's
give
an
him away.
apprentice shit shuffler.
Yeah, I know. But even that's something.
Yeah.
It looks like a laborer,
Okay.
like someone you would hire to do something that doesn't require much.
And does his shoes match the bloodstained shoes?
Ooh, that's tough to tell from the reflection in
Okay.
something hanging on a wall.
Wherever that thing was hanging, it's gonna be hanging.
No sign of recognition from any of the staff that are watching as well?
No.
May I ask you, wizard type, something? Are your magics based on elements? Like air or water or earth or...
Not mine.
Well, we can discuss the finer points of magic later. Right now, we need to work this out.
Well, I'm just saying, because it smelled like mud earlier in here. And if they went somewheres magically, which they just did, maybe that's
right.
on
You said loamy.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the area around here. Is there any swamp or arboreal forest
New
that would have the
forest
same?
growth.
Around here, not really. Not really. I mean, this
This
is
is old
mostly
growth
like,
forest and
Bearing in mind that they
Yeah.
could travel, well, I'd have to ask Dulcimer.
Dustin.
I'm going to get it wrong.
Dulcimer?
all the time.
Sorry, I'll just sit here correcting everybody.
Dortmeyer.
Dustimir. Do you recognize the gate spell he used?
he teleported.
Yeah, how far do you think he could go?
Oh, depending on how much energy and skill he has, he could have gone halfway around the world. He could have gone to another realm of existence.
Let's stick with the local areas for now, because I'm going to assume that whatever they're doing is going to be fairly local, within a couple 100 miles.
Yeah.
Is there anything out there that's would mimic the smell that you've had? Like, is there a swamp? Is there...
I will tell you something. The guy in the goofy hat, his accent is definitely from this region.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, if going back to that kind of subtle, loamy, earthy smell, would it along this line? Did it seem more forest growth, like undergrowthy, or was it like more wet? Like there's a few rivers and inlets here that might create a swamp.
It's
Swamps and forests smell radically different.
Yeah.
to you. It smell. You got a huge roll on that one, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like up by 7 or
Yeah.
something. It smells to you more subterranean.
Some caves, underground.
Do we have any cave systems around here?
That's a good question. Do we?
Well, there's mines up in the mountains, but that's a long way away. I mean, that's a couple days
But
journey away.
if they have the
right,
energy and the power, they can go to other realms.
Dustimir, are there caverns or catacombs below this castle?
That's a good question.
There's a one layer of basement.
Can I get a detachment of guards and some light? And we need to. He can go down and
Sure.
and check
Of
it
course.
out.
Absolutely. Just goes and the captain of the guard goes and fetches a couple of guards. The captain of the guard will go with you,
Yeah.
and they'll take you down into the basements.
When we're talking basement, you said one layer. Is it expansive, or are we talking about like, root cellars, storage for household goods, like stuff under the kitchens?
Yes, that sort of thing. I mean, there's a lot of storage space. They started by digging a pit and building basically
Building through.
nearly the full footprint of the citadel. It's large. It's extremely large.
And casual. I mean, does the smell remind me of the smell that I smelled earlier?
What you get
Yeah.
down there? No.
So it's definitely
What you smelled was more naturey.
like more like a cave or a cavern, or a freshly dug well, freshly
More
tunnel,
along that sort of
man-made
lines.
tunnel.
More along the like a freshly made well, like that. Like you can kind of. It's a mixture of the earth plus the sort of a subterranean body of water. That's more of the smell.
I'd like to check the area for false walls, or let's do this first. Just using my eyes. Any like doors inside the space? Is it one giant space? Is it a bunch of little?
It's a bunch of
broken up-
smaller spaces because there's like like load bearing walls and stuff.
Right.
So little passageways. through
Okay.
them. But and you can tell that almost all of it is used. There is traffic down here. You can tell.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's probably sconces. There's probably
and there's sections of it where they keep them lit because people go down there often enough.
like grain stuff and
Right.
grains, potato cellars. All right, I want to take a look around and see. Oh, see, there's a heavy traffic though. I would like to check first the least trafficked areas
Okay.
for unusual. I suspect I'd be able to tell between regular foot traffic back and forth versus like somebody stopping at a wall and then the footprint's not turning around and going
Right.
back.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. Oh, 5.
Oh, okay. You find like you are very nearly underneath sort of the entryway and Imperial bedchambers
Right.
area, like 4 floors down or 5 floors
Right.
down. And there's not footprints, but you do notice that there are 2 spots where the earth looks very slightly disturbed, almost like a whirl.
Huh.
And there's 2 of them, and they're spaced about about 10 feet apart.
10 feet apart. If I, like the swirl you say, is it like somebody grabbed something and turned it to move it? Or like a real spiral pattern, like
It looks
something
like a
spun
spiral.
out on it?
It looks like a spiral pattern.
I would like to take a little bit of that earth and kind of smell.
Now you are getting a familiar sort of.
Okay, I want to check the area for false walls, because I'm assuming there's stonework.
Yes.
Bricks. Okay. I want to do that. I guess that would be perception, right?
Sure.
Nice. A 6.
Again.
Half, yeah.
No, there's no.
No, nothing. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to say, I'm going to look at, his name was Fade?
Fade.
Fade. Like Fade Rafa.
Yes.
Fade, these swirls don't seem like they should be here. And like I point out the 2 little spirally things, like something spun out in that space. There's nothing here that could be pushed or moved. And it smells exactly like the smell from upstairs.
Are these magical runes of some sort?
No, it's just. It looks like in the dirt floor of the basement. It just looks like a vortex, but it isn't like it's dipped in,
Like
but
somebody took an auger to that ground, like they're starting a well.
something like that.
In the picture of the spell, did they?
No.
How do the skipping mirrors work?
Skipping mirrors allow you to teleport from one mirror to another mirror. So you would have
You leave the one mirror behind, though. You
yes.
Don't take
There's like a glass orb that's tied to mirror 2. You set it in a little thing. This is something that magical technology that exists in the game. You put it in a little holder, and then the mirror then at that point becomes a gate, and you walk through it. You come out the other side.
So they're always paired, and they're like you don't take one.
They're not necessarily paired because you can take the thing with you.
You can take it with you.
Yes, you can take the orb with you, and that orb is only tied to that other mirror. So you can go to any other skipping mirror, put it in there, and it'll always take you back to your mirror.
Carry on. Sorry, I thought there might be something mirror related in this, but that doesn't sound like it.
I'm still just trying to figure out. So
Now, if you inquire, they will tell you that there is a skipping mirror in this part of the castle.
All right. Well,
But it is,
I'll let you.
and it, since the discovery of the bodies had been put under extremely heavy guard.
I'm going to want to see that skipping
Okay.
mirror.
if the ground is it soft?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like
what you
like
would-
if I was to say, leave one undisturbed, just leave it as it is, and kind of start scooping away at the dirt. How far am I getting? Like in terms of like how much am I digging out? Because like I said, this looks like somebody took an auger to start a well.
a little bit. It
Yeah.
kind of looks like. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like that,
Right.
But it has that sort of circular swirling pattern
Right,
to it.
but as someone who's not necessarily familiar with the mystical arts, my sense is that something went in.
Right.
How big are these holes?
I said about
Like manhole sized?
like somebody might have
Tunneled out.
So I kind of want to dig.
The dirt is fair. I mean, just on the surface, there's that sort of whirling pattern to it. But once you kind of scrape that away, it's hard packed dirt.
again.
How many holes are there? Just two?
Two, about 8 to 10 feet apart.
Do I know if there's a spell where you can tunnel through ground?
Do you have thaumatology or thaumaturgy?
I do not.
It's a skill that's a study of magic.
I do not.
Make a int plus, and let me know how much you make it by, plus majory.
6, 7, 8. Int plus majory. Rolled an 8. My intelligence is 12. And my majory, where the hell is my majory? Is 3.
So you made it by 7?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty good. There is a spell called Entombment, which basically buries people in the earth. That might do something like this. There are earth spells that can dig.
I think we found our 2 missing guards.
That's what I was just going to say. So we should dig them out.
I relay this to you. There are certain spells when cast.
I asked them to send me some laborers with shovels.
Okay, all right.
We'll get we'll just have to dig underneath. This top ground is soft, and it hits packed dirt, but it's magic.
Well, that's part of this. This is all coming together now. These two mages. Well, let's go back upstairs and we can talk about it. But we can get some people working on this
Yeah.
now. Do you have any
Like people?
ideas?
No, not specific. Not at this point. Not at this point. I mean, I'm just as curious as anybody to see if the guards are under there. So.
Okay.
Now,
Your skill level was by 6. They're going to be digging for a while. But by 7, they're going to be digging for a while. If it was Entombment,
I understand.
They're going to be digging for a while.
Oh, how far down does that spell send them? Ugh, chilly.
50 feet.
well, I could also bounce it off of
Dostimir?
Dostimir. I'm like, do you concur that this
Turn to
might be an
Kris.
entombment?
What's his name again?
He's like, I can attempt to reverse it.
That's up to you. But it seems like the logical thing here is that's where our 2 guards are.
Okay. He is able to bring one of them up. It's the older one. And he's like, where am I?
What the what?
Oh, he's alive. I thought that was the wizard at first. Like,
No.
I give him some water.
I'm going to go check him.
Okay. He looks perfectly fine.
I'm going to start filling him in on what happened.
I mean,
Like,
he's a little damp.
Yeah.
Does he smell earthy and loamy?
He does smell earthy and loamy.
But does he
familiar.
smell peaty?
No, he does not smell peaty.
I'm going to give Dostimir a very approving look
Okay.
to hopefully make up for my mistake earlier. Like,
And he's like
Very-
definitely like hanging on his staff at this point too.
very well done.
I'm afraid I will need to rest before I can bring the other up.
Hopefully one might be all we need if they both were here at the same time and saw the same
Oh, I think if
events.
he's down there, we owe it to him to bring him up.
Of course. But for now, he might wait for you to rest.
Yes, I will. Excuse me. So he will drink.
Sit him down and I'll tell him this is what happened. I'll fill him in on what we've learned so far about what happened upstairs, and start just asking him, see anything strange besides the whole ground kind of like rushing past you?
Someone opened the door and walked into the hall. Next thing I know, I'm here.
Open the door. Which door?
This is the door leading into the entryway.
I'm out of character. I was busy researching a spell when you probably talked about this. So this room is right below where they were standing?
This is basement level.
Four
from
directly
directly
stories.
beneath.
Okay,
4
so
stories down.
literally... Okay.
They sent. Could you imagine being conscious for that?
Okay.
Getting shot through the floor into the ground, and then going, "Where am I? It's dark. I'm gonna sleep."
How do you remain alive?
You go into suspended animation.
Okay.
It's part of the spell. Can you tell me what this figure looked like?
I think there were 3 of them. 2 of them were wearing hoods, and then some, I don't know, some kid.
Did you recognize the kid?
No.
Did anybody say anything?
One of them whispered something. It wasn't in language I understand, though.
The one with the staff with the green top?
Yes, I believe. Yes.
We need to know everything, no matter how inconsequential it might seem to you. What door did they come through?
He tells you it was a door opposite the doors leading into the bedroom.
So we need to look. That's where the wardrobe is?
No.
Out in the hallway.
Wardrobe, bedroom, entryway where the guards are.
Right.
Door here.
So there's another room in there? Where does that door lead?
probably to a staircase or something.
We should
Oh,
check
well,
it.
it leads to another hallway that points the other direction.
So we should
Yeah.
do what we can to track through there. Could go back down and talk to, or no, he's here now. We can talk to the captain of the guard about if he saw anybody or if their patrol went through there.
Yeah, and see if they saw anybody walking in.
But he tells you, he says, I don't know the details of it, but I've been told by the mages and the council of advisors that for some reason, because of the architecture of the place, that one specific hallway, they've always had difficulty warding it.
And you said that the doors across from the chamber doors are just lead into another passageway.
Like another hallway that probably has stairwells.
Do you know what time this happened?
It was just after we got the second bell of the night. That would have been 2 a.m. I don't think we heard the third.
You guys got any questions?
Yeah, besides what they saw, I mean,
You sure you're feeling all right there?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I'm a little tired.
Well, that's to be understandable. You should get some rest.
Okay.
Before-
Where am I?
You're in the basement.
Oh.
Before the door opened and you saw these figures, did you hear any sound, any unusual sound that would made you look up or start or sounded out of the
I
ordinary?
did hear something. I just some noise.
Can you describe it to me? Was it a thunderclap? Was it a rustling? Was it like wind?
Almost like a pop.
That's very useful. So it sounds to me like these three people apparated right outside that doorway, walked in, sent these two guards downstairs.
Could I get a look at the mirror that you have here?
This is to Blaze.
Sorry, to Blaze, yes.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Not to the guard. He wouldn't be terribly helpful.
He takes you upstairs and to that secondary hallway, and one of the doors off of it opens the door up. There are two guards posted there now, but he
Okay.
says normally there aren't.
So normally the mirror is unguarded?
Yes, that's there's only one orb that's paired to this mirror.
Okay.
And you have to be in the presence, you would probably know this, you have to be in the presence of the mirror to enchant an orb for it. Or have an orb.
So who normally comes in and out of here?
The only orb that's paired to this mirror is in the watchtower on Cordell Mountain in the Duchy of Amana.
Just out of character, does this happen before or after our original Eldemy campaign?
10,000 years earlier. This is the old empire that doesn't exist anymore in the old Eldemy game.
The Duchy of what?
Amana. It might even be on the map. I don't know if I've actually put it there.
I'm on his way over here.
Is it? What's that say right there?
Is this-
That says Cordell Mountain, but Amana is over here.
Yeah, well, that's where the capital. That's where the city
Okay.
is. That province
This-
is Amana. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The watchtower is has an enchanted telescope that can see well beyond the horizon, and in decades past there have been invasions from the Far Empire, and this it basically is our ability to see if there's problems headed our way there.
And if you read Mandeight, the patented mage,
Yes.
you will know more.
Yep.
What is the experience like
of traveling by using the enchanted mirrors?
It's like walking through a door.
Okay. There's no physical impairment at all.
No.
Okay.
So let's go upstairs and see if we can't muddle through what we have here.
Yeah.
It seems pretty clear what's going on. It sounds like 3 figures came in, teleported our 2 hapless guards into the ground, came in, murdered the Empress, took the Emperor, hung him up, drained him of his blood, came out, and right outside this doorway, disappeared
back
somewhere
out.
else. There's one more spell I can try. I might be able to try to track. I have to ask you about Seeker. See if I can track the flask that they carried the blood in.
It was a wineskin.
A wineskin.
Yeah.
That's a big wineskin.
Well, it's a wineskin of holding. It's totally effective.
You didn't actually print up Seeker for me, so
I did. I wondered if I did. You modify it? No, you sent me the most recent one.
you may have just not. Seeker's, I think, 10.
I think you have to have the thing. Seeker. Seek. There it is.
105. It's a little nebulous about what it does. It says. Well, I'll let you read it, and you tell me if I can do it or not.
Okay, something associated with the item needs to be nearby, or else it's at -5.
We have this rope that he touched, and it was on him and around him.
That's a little nebulous, because it would almost be like a tassel off of the wineskin, or something that's actually part of the wineskin. If you're trying to find the dude.
The dude
Okay,
would
all right.
work as well. Could I use the
So
rope?
you use the rope to find the dude. That's what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay.
What will that cost me?
Let's see. It costs 3. There are long distance modifiers involved. I will give you that. Well, actually, you don't know what that is.
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking you to tell me what it might
Well,
cost.
you make the
3
roll.
is about all I have.
This is 3 is the cost.
Okay.
Period. But there's a long distance modifier, but you don't know what that modifier is, nor does your character.
No.
Which means you make the roll, and there is a possibility that, like, any roll you make is almost going to be a critical failure, depending how far away they are.
9.
And what is your skill level?
13.
So you made it by 4. And that, what does it give you? I think it gives you an idea of the direction.
And I'm
Okay.
out of power.
Right. All right. So
It's my last spell of the night, folks.
all right. You get sort of a flash of vision, and you are near one of the roads that leads west from the northern gate. You just recognize this area from the northern gate of the citadel. There's a road that heads east towards the next town. I can't remember what the name of that town is. It's this one here, that town.
Clip art?
Cliport. Clifford.
Clipboard.
I'm
Clip art.
not very good, I say.
I think it's Cleaport is how
Cleaport.
I originally intended to pronounce it. So along that road, and it's someone who looks like they're camped, but you can see the citadel in the distance, and like this flash image you get, and it's the dude with the goofy hat. So he's looks like he's camped someplace.
We're going to need your services, but we're going to need ride horses.
Yeah, we're going to need to ride up after this person then. Okay, all right, yeah. I mean,
We're going to need to ride horses.
can we get a cart or something that the horses can haul? I'm okay riding a cart. It's fine.
Well, if we can get a hold of them, I can drive it.
Well,
I'm a teamster.
I think
I have armor that I have
I think
told
the
with
carriage that we came in is probably still parked out there because we haven't been there this long. We could
Yeah.
probably just have them do it for us.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Sure. Well, you've been here hours at this point, but yeah, I'm sure it's.
We
still
can ask them for either individual horses or a carriage
Yeah.
to take us. We need to get to the northern.
We need to leave now.
We need to leave to the gate to what is it?
Cleaport.
Cleaport.
Yeah, well, that town is like 2 days travel away.
I get it,
So,
but
like,
it's the main road.
and you wouldn't still be able to see the city in the background, but you can. So it's somewhere along that road.
I can't do anything anymore tonight, so it's all on you.
Sleep
I
on the
literally
way,
used
yeah.
up all my fatigue points, like to 0.
I
even
think
the
you're
ones
at
she
0.
gave me.
I think you actually collapse. I think you go to
Fatigue?
sleep.
Oh,
I think.
oh, that's
Yeah,
that's up to you. If that's true, then I'm all woozy.
I'm pretty sure. I think when you get to 0, you were like kind of out of it.
Well, I gotta get him mobile. I can give him some more.
I didn't use up my hit points, just the fatigue.
Right. Well, I didn't give you all of them.
No.
I still have some.
I had 7. I used 4, and then I used 3. So we're done.
Okay.
That literally to 0, unless you want to give me 1 point.
I'll give you
to
some.
to wake me up.
1 point will make him wake him up. You have to do that.
9.
I'm sure your skill is later in that.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we all dash down to the cart, hop on, and see if we can track this person down.
This is the two of you. I've got a flash of where he is. He's parked outside the postern gate, the eastern gate, on the way to Cleaport. And but we need to get there now. He's camping, and we've been
Let's
here for
go.
hours.
Let's do it.
It's 2 days we've been here? Well, anyway.
Oh.
He may or may
Yeah.
not even be alive. I don't know.
Okay. So you guys,
This may have happened in the past, but we'll see.
right? You go back out into that courtyard, and the carriage is still there, but the footmen they're like not there. They're on break or something.
Do your thing.
Okay. I have to go get the horses.
No, they're there. It's all set up.
They
It's-
left them horses just standing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, yes, I can drive. I
Okay.
can drive the carriage.
All right. So give me a one skill roll to get out of the labyrinthine stuff without
Is this my teamster?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh
I'm gonna guess your skill isn't 16 or higher.
no!
Okay. What is it?
12.
Okay. All right. The wagon is still functioning as a wagon, but one of the doors broke off. But it still works. Didn't hurt the horses or anything.
Okay.
Nothing terrible. But yeah, you did tear up one side of it.
Sorry.
You're not sure exactly what it did to the
Sorry.
corner of the building that you hit, but whatever. It's not your problem.
Okay.
All right, so you guys ride off and out into the main part of the city, and then towards the gate and out the gate.
Oh, handy. Since the door is open, I kind of like look out of it as the scenery is zipping by, and I just
Right.
keep an eye on what's going on outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's nighttime at this point, so most the crowd that had been out petitioning the emperor, they've sort of dispersed.
Okay.
But you are being pelted by poop. Because it's now in the
Oh,
hours
it's the
that
pooping hour.
It's the pooping hour.
Or the poop disposal hour.
This place smells really bad.
I duck back into the carriage, away from the door.
Okay. I did just to I'll try to post it, but to those listening at home, I gave them a newspaper, and
Pooping hour.
there's an edict that you cannot empty your chamber pots if they have poop in them until after a certain time of day. So, and that is that time. That was purely coincidental. I did not
Well,
intend.
I'm just getting
this to-
covered in shit then because
Yes.
I am driving the carriage.
Everyone has
But,
been holding on to the poop in their
I
chamber
have
pots all day long.
Unfeasible, so I'm really fine.
Lord.
Just, yep, this is happening.
Yes.
It may or may not be the first time you've had to ride through a shitstorm. A literal shitstorm.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So once we get near to where
So
this
you
place is,
make it outside the gate, and
thump on the.
now you're like headed down. I think this is a perfect place to stop.
No!
Actually.
Yes, I need to go
Look
take
at
a
Jose.
shower. I'm covered in poop.
It's almost 7, so I think this is a good place. It's a good place to stop. I think it's a good
All right, we're heading out of town.
Coming to a head here.
It's just that
or the
in
heads
my
come to
head,
us, really.
whenever I play, it's like I'm watching a TV episode, right? And so as we're like getting, it's that moment when the first bucket of poop comes flying out the window, and Chris's character is taking one right to the face, and that's when the credits roll.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Boom.
Executive producer Sherwood Schwartz.
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week.
All right. All right. So thank you to those of you who have stuck with us through this. And my puns. I'm going to try to have puns every session.
You got a bunch of them in this one.
Yeah, at least a couple.
God.
Yeah.
I get 2. The
Yeah,
elephant in
yeah.
the room and that the emperor has no clothes.
No clothes, yeah.
I'll try to think of more for the next one. All right, so we'll see you again in 2 weeks on Sunday. That's a good time for everyone, I assume. If it's not, we'll talk about it after the thing at 4 p.m. Pacific time, happyjacks.org/live. Thank you very much, and I will start closing this all out.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I've piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.
Bum, 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 bum.